Okay. And we're good. What's up, everybody? Welcome to this episode of the Beastcast. I'm your host, the Beast. With me is my host, Alchemist. What's up, Alchemist? How we doing? Good. No worries, dude. You're always welcome. Always welcome. We got returning guest, dANiel. What's up, my dude? Dude. Oh, what flavor? Oh, that's good. That's good. That's good. You can never go wrong with pistachio. It kind of gives the illusion of healthy because it's a nut flavor, but yeah. Well, in this episode of the Beastcast, we've got special guest dreadtech. How you doing, my man? You there? Oh, there we go. There we go. No worries. It's a pleasure. For those that don't know, dreadtech is Melbourne FGC. What? All right, give us a second. How about now? Oh, fucking hell. This, give me 2 seconds. I think I know what's wrong. All right. How about now?
Testing.
Yeah, not again. Hey.
No, they should be able to hear you now. I figured out what was wrong.
Someone give us confirmation.
Yeah. Okay, we're good. Oh my god, dude, I literally need to hire like a sound guy. This podcast continues to be ghetto. Anyway, let's start again. Welcome everyone to the Beastcast. I am your host, the Beast. With me is my co-host Alchemist. What's up? We got returning guest dANiel. How we doing, my man?
Good, thanks. How are you?
No worries. And on today's episode, we have special guest, dreadtech. How we doing?
Hello, everyone. Thanks for having me on this podcast, Abby.
For those who don't know, we'll get into a short intro from Dread by himself, but he's Melbourne FGC podcaster, current president of Couch Warriors, and great all-round guy. And
He's all right.
Yeah, not bad.
I'm okay. Yeah, just okay. Only okay.
Yeah. Shout out to dreadtech. Yeah, thanks everyone for hopping on the show. I know it's like continuing to be a trend of being a last minute thing, but I always appreciate you guys hopping on.
Nah, too easy, mate.
Nice. Good to hear. So let's get into the forefront of it. Before our regular Tekken discussion, as per usual with our guests, let's get an intro from Dread. It's pretty much the intro into the FGC, and not many people know that he'll detail this to us himself. He's former, I guess I put former in quotation, Smash player. So how do you get how do you get into that, and how do you get into fighting games?
So I think both scenes actually have a pretty they don't actually know my past on both sides, because my first tournament was in 2014, and that was Battle Arena Melbourne 6. So I was already quite quote unquote old when I joined the FGC, which is like the worst of both worlds. I'm like an old person, but I'm like new. I'm like a babby to FGC. I grew up playing Street Fighter, actually. You know, everyone's got the same story. You were the king of your neighborhood. None of your friends could touch you. But I never actually got into the competitive side until I finished uni, got a proper job, opened a cafe, and I was just like, oh yeah, I've got some time now. Maybe I'll check out this FGC thing that seems to have piqued my interest. The reason why I never joined the FGC earlier was because I actually didn't like Street Fighter 4. And as a longtime Street Fighter player, that actually kind of like irked me. I didn't really like Street Fighter 4 until Ultra came out. And that was around the time, I think, yeah, Ultra was out, and I gave it another shot. So I went to Battle Arena Melbourne 6 for the first time. And, you know, it didn't really, I was behind enough that it didn't really like the catch up was so monumental that that I just got destroyed. I went into the newcomers tournament and got top 3, but yeah, it was didn't really reel me back in. But I was starting to play Smash because I always had a GameCube, and the community for Melee in particular really welcomed me and opened their arms to me, and they were all a great bunch of guys. So they just sort of like, there was such a good community that I just like transitioned into just helping them out. And I don't know, it just came to the point where I started helping out, tournament organizing, and being from a business background, I'm pretty good at micromanaging things. So I just got good at tournament organizing, I guess. And then eventually I just became head TO of Smash pretty much. And then I got kind of bored because I realized that you have to put way too much time to get good at Melee. So for those of you that don't know, that Melee is really, really, really difficult to play. At the peak actions for Melee is kind of the same as sort of the amount of buttons you press for StarCraft. So you're hitting about like 200 actions per minute. My main for Melee was Fox. I started with Sheik and then I played Fox, as Enderwiz asked me what characters I played. I did play Smash 4 when it first came out. I was top 10 for 4 months and then I got bored. So that's just a little tidbit there for you. Shout out to Jack. And then I started playing Guilty Gear because I started going to CCH for fun, and because I just wanted to get back into 2D, because that was actually where my roots came from. 2D fighters was actually my root, and no one actually knows this. And then a lot of people would be like, hey, how come you know how to play 2D fighters? Aren't you a Smash baby? I'm like, well, I started with 2D when I was a kid, so I kind of know the basic fundamentals. So I found out about Guilty Gear, and then I started playing Guilty Gear because the concept of air dashing was really interesting to me, and I just fell in love with it. So I focused on that for about a year, and then Tekken got announced. So I started Tekken, and then I've been hooked on ever since. And that's basically my story.
Wow, what an epic story.
It's pretty long.
Yeah. I've got so many questions, as I'm sure the others do.
You go first.
Well, I just want to know, was Tekken 7 your first Tekken?
Yes. Like I had always had Tekken. I did play a lot of Tekken 3.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if you can count just mashing on the.
Oh yeah, we've all had that.
Like
experience.
Everyone's done that. Yeah. As far as learning the actual game, no, never. Tekken 7 was my first time.
Why the gravitation to try this new Tekken?
I always try new fighting games. I think it's just something that I've just started doing ever since joining the FGC. Every time a new game comes out, I think you'd much understand, Abby. You just want to give everything a shot just to make sure, just to see if it captures your interest. So it's like I played everything from like, Guilty Gear, Blaze Blue, Eunice, Blaze Blue Cross Tag, Dragon Ball, and yeah, it's just you just try it. And also because it's so easy to give it a shot because people just bring it to casual meets. It's just very easy to just say, to just play it for a little bit and just like make up your mind whether you actually like it or not. That's what actually made me start playing Guilty Gear, because I had no intention of ever playing anime because I'm like, air dash fighter seems a bit too complicated.
Mm-hmm.
Then I actually tried it, and then I'm just like, all right, I'm buying this game tonight.
You said how long was it till you stopped playing Melee? 2 years?
I would say, yeah, probably 2 years. I still did keep TOing it, and up until recently.
You got bored of it.
I'd say I stopped playing like about a year and a half after I started, in all honesty. And then I kept TOing for another, like TOing full time for another half year, trying to find my way, like decide on a game, and then I found Guilty Gear.
And you got you stopped playing because you said you were bored of it, yeah.
It wasn't that I was bored of it, is that I realized that the amount of effort that it took to improve and stay consistent at the game, it's just not available to me. I'm not saying that like other games aren't hard,
yeah,
but it's like the beautiful thing I find about Tekken, and a lot of people ask me why I actually play Tekken. I actually
think the people.
I think Melee community are just as good as Tekken community. In all honesty, I put them both the same. In all honesty, in terms of how much I love both scenes, they're actually both amazing scenes. In terms of why I play Tekken compared to Melee, a lot of people ask me why I play Tekken. I actually would say that Tekken is actually very similar to Melee. The only difference is that in Tekken, I don't need to practice 4 hours a day just to keep my fingers consistent. So I can still improve while just thinking about the game. But in Melee, if you're not practicing your execution consistently, like 3 hours every night or like an hour every night, you're just not going to be as consistent because mistakes are so easy in Melee. And I feel like in the mid-level of Melee, it's not about hitting your tech, it's about making less mistakes. And that's how like intense it is on the tech skill level. So I feel like Tekken is just like a beautiful sort of melding, a perfect combination of actual tech skill combined with being able to think about and improve on the game on a mental level.
Interesting. Like, I think like your opinion in particular is real valuable because there's always that distinction between like some Smash players, and there's always that distinction, whether you want to acknowledge it or not, between Smash and FGC. But it's good to get an in-betweener's perspective on it. So yeah, I feel that's
yeah,
really
like
valuable.
in my opinion, it's like Melee shares a lot of the same things that Tekken has. It's just applied differently. You know, Melee has a wave dash. Melee has frame perfect moves. Melee has like perfect frame links. It's all there.
Interesting.
Melee has shield like block pressure, shield pressure, all that stuff. It's very very like reliant on frame data as well. So yeah.
I was just going to say, with that being said, how do you feel about Ultimate being announced and eventually will be released? Are you excited for it? Will you play it?
I think it's very good for the Smash 4 crowd. People who like Smash 4 are going to really like what Ultimate has become. In my opinion, what Ultimate is like, it's, for lack of a better expression, it's Smash 4 with a Dota patch, like with one of those big Dota patches. The game inherently, I don't think from its base building blocks is any different, but they've changed how certain mechanics work to make it better as from a competitive standpoint. But in all honesty, if you still love Melee, there is no way you can go, like, Ultimate will make you change.
Fair enough. That's what I heard when I was told, because you know how they announced that next Evo, Melee won't be there, but they'll have Smash 4 and Ultimate. And I heard
look, Wizard's an idiot if he does that, straight up.
There was an uproar from the community. No one wanted that because the game 4 and Ultimate seem to be very similar in terms of playstyle, appearance, and whatnot. Though Melee itself is a completely unique.
Yeah, from what I'm hearing, it's the Smash 4 scene that's going to transition over to Ultimate. So that would be a horrible
it's
mistake.
The same because it's a natural progression from because they want to make things more like standardized. So it's like the more natural progression is like Brawl would be the very first one. Then it goes from Brawl to Smash 4, then from Smash 4 to Ultimate. Brawl does share a fair few similarities from Brawl to 4.
So is this Ultimate like a brand new game or like an update?
In my opinion, it's more of a giant update, like a huge patch, basically. I think they have changed enough to make it feel different, but I think the base building blocks is the same.
Yeah, that's the same impression I got. I was seeing an interview of prominent Smash player. I think his name's Anti, and he was just commenting like he got a chance to play the game, and he commented on it like very cautiously, saying obviously he hadn't had a lot of time to play the game, but he didn't seem too drastically different, but there are differences there that are notable. So, yeah, I hope it does well.
Yeah, I hope so too.
I hope it does well. One thing I want to ask was, along with Smash, as you've said, being a very meticulous and hard game to pick up, Tekken has always gotten that wrapped up. We discussed in like previous podcasts. How have you found picking up Tekken, the grind, and getting to where you are now?
It's great. I mean, it gives me the same sort of like feeling that I get. Like, not saying that, like, I'm pretty sure like if I had stuck to Guilty Gear, it would have given me the same thing. But I don't know. It just feels like Tekken came at a perfect time for me, where I still didn't really know what I wanted to do in the competitive aspect, whether I wanted to stay a tournament organizer full time or just pick a game. And I actually was looking forward to picking up Dragon Ball FighterZ. And when Tekken 7 came out, I'm just like, I'll like in my head, I was just like, all right, I'll pick this up, play it for a month, and then like, probably most likely do the same thing I've always done, just drop it and move on. I didn't really think that I would fall in love with it as much as I did. And 3 months later, I'm still fucking playing it, and I'm still asking for advice, and I'm still trying to work out, how to play this damn game, because like it just encapsulated me so much. Just like the reliance on frame data, the way the game opens up when you find out things like sidestepping, when you find out things like low parrying, when you find out things like whiff punishing, it was just like Tekken is just this amazing thing where they really thought about how it operates on a competitive level, at the same time as making sure that if you work at the game, you can do some really amazing things that a casual player cannot do. And it's just like being able to learn from that. And in saying that, I think Tekken needs to work on being able to introduce newer players to it, because it is very, very unforgiving. It is very, very salt-inducing. It's one of the most salt-inducing games I've ever played. 100%. 100%. It's because...
Sorry, now I was just gonna say, like, I was speaking to Julian on the weekend, and like that's what I think is good about Tekken. There's always something new you find out about, and it just amazes you when you do find out about it. Like we were talking about Sabaki parries, or Sabaki moves the other day, and Julian's just like, what the hell is a Sabaki move? And yeah, that just blew his mind. But I remember like the first time finding out about like these secret moves and stuff, it just kind of blows your mind, really. And I think that's what you picked up, right?
Yeah. I think the beautiful thing about Tekken is that it's created in a way where you can play your own style, providing that your character can do that. But even within the confines of being aggressive, there are different ways you can be aggressive. And the fact is that the Tekken characters are so fleshed out, they have so many moves, and they have so many options that every single move you do in the game has a counter. Every single move you do in the game is not like a be-all, end-all like answer. So it comes down to how you take in that information, how you adapt, and how you mold that into your own style, which is just amazing. Like, I can look at Hwoarang players as a Hwoarang player myself and be able to pick out like how they play Hwoarang in their specific kind of way, what mids they favor, what pokes they favor, all that stuff, what Oki they like to use. And it differs from player to player. Like Arcelis, Batsu, Yonorang, Muse, speed kicks, they all use their setups differently, and it's really, really interesting to see. And I'd like to think that I know I lean towards playing a certain way, and I just want to be able to see whether I can make it work within my own prowess or whether I need to add to it.
I was going to ask, like, I know you said you just wanted to pick up another game, but was there a reason why you wanted to pick up Tekken? Like, had you watched like a lot of videos or something previously, or like did you see it mentioned a lot in like social media or something?
In all honesty, it probably would have been because of BAM 9, the tournament that we had before the game released. There were so many people.
JDCR and Saint?
Yeah, that one.
Was it?
Yeah, the one where JDCR
yeah, that's right. Yeah. I remember. Yeah, I'm confusing my guys.
There was a
so
bunch
you tuned into the crowd?
Yeah, and there was like a bunch of people that I'd never seen in my entire life. Obviously, I'd been introduced at that point to Rami and Abby, even though you were helping Tio, I don't think I met you yet, Daniel. And it was just like I'd seen this brand new crowd of people, and they rivaled the Melee crowd, and I'm just like, all right, these guys are obviously hyped for a reason. And then, like, in all honesty, when I was watching Tekken 5 videos, maybe a couple years back, this was probably when I was playing Smash. I always had the idea of, oh, well, they're doing 60% juggles. You can't actually stop that. Melee is good in the fact that you can actually change your trajectory while you're getting hit, so they actually have to, adapt to that. And then, in my stupid head, I thought, Tekken would be easier. But as soon as I started playing it, there was just, so much intricacy within, the poking, the neutral game, and even ascertaining that launch, which makes it such a satisfying game to play. So, I gave it an honest shot. I had shout outs to Yusuf, Papa Yusuf. He actually sat down with me for half an hour to really show me the base, the bare basics. And from that point on, I waited for the game to come out, bought it, then I just started playing. And it really helped that the person you mentioned, Julian, he's actually we started the game together. It's our first Tekken together. I think he played a little bit of 6. But yeah, we are training partners at this moment. So having us build each other up and seeing how we grow from tournament to tournament actually really helped as well.
Cool. That's good to know. Just, based off you literally just watching, a big event and then thinking, oh, I'll get into that. That looks awesome.
Yeah. I feel like as long as I give it an honest shot, if I didn't like the game, then, fair enough, But, dude, I didn't expect for me to keep playing this dumb game.
Yeah, you bring up a good point. One thing particular at this iteration of Tekken is the amount of new people that have picked it up that haven't just dropped it. I know I've seen that in Melbourne. I'm not sure how prevalent that is in the other states. I don't know if you could chime in, Alchemist.
Sorry. You mean new players?
See, because with every new game, you'll have a lot of people that pick it up for a while and then they just drop it off. But the amount of people that have stayed with Tekken 7 has actually been very surprising.
I mean, in Sydney specifically, I can tell you for a fact that every month or so, I see a new face joining the offline scene, and they're not only joining it for that one thing, they're staying as part of the scene, and they come out to more and more offline events and everything. For example, one of the most recent people who has joined the scene is one of, you guys know CTC, one of his friends. His name is James. He's just joined, and he's been playing, I think he said 4 weeks, and he's really taken a liking to Kazumi. So I played around with him, saw how he played Kazumi. So I told him I'll teach him Kazumi next time, and that's just one example. There's many people who have been known as brand new players. I've never heard of their name. I've never seen them. They come up to an offline event, and then they're sticking with it. They're coming to everything, and that's a really good thing. Yeah, Tekken, I think, has done that really well. And in Sydney specifically, I can only speak for Sydney. I can tell you for sure there's been an exponential growth since the release of the game up until now.
100%.
Yeah, that's cool. I was gonna say as well, on the weekends around that, I saw a lot of new faces I've never seen before, and it feels like every single roundabout there's literally 1, maybe 2 new people. But yeah, it's awesome, man.
Yeah, see, someone mentioned from the Perth scene about their growing. I like to tune into every scene just on the down low, and I keep eyes on Perth, and they got good numbers. I've been in the scene so long, and I keep a record of what our local numbers are, what tournament wise. We had 35 for a local this past Couch Warriors roundabout, where we were getting 12, 15 back in the day at the and it's just crazy to see the growth. 35 with people missing. We could have easily got 40. So it's the amount, and it's all due to new people. So Tekken is doing something right.
Yeah, and I remember. Oh, sorry to cut you off. No, I just want to mention yeah, in my first tournament game, I sat down next to someone I've never seen before, and he was he just started asking me, if I play often, and yeah, I play quite often, and then he was asking if I had a PS4 ID, and I told him I was dANiel 000, and it's just oh, I've run into you many times. And I was just like, oh, what's your name? And then I found out that, I've been playing this guy for like 2 or 3 years, but only now he's decided to actually come out.
Yeah, I've found a lot
into
of
the
people
scene.
like that as well. A lot
Yeah, and
of
I
people have played offline for a while, but just now they're coming offline.
Yeah, and like I thought, you know what, like it's taken a while, but I think like, people are really seeing how much fun it is just to be at an offline tournament and then literally, going out and going to them nowadays. Yeah.
All anyone needs is just to come to one offline event. It's just like, give us that one and we will make you stay. Like 100%.
That's it, man. And I think he really enjoyed himself, and like that was the first time we've done a 3v3 in for Tekken 7, and that was so much fun, and I think it would definitely keep people from to come back. So yeah.
I was saying before, we were talking about growth in the Tekken scene. This is kind of a segue, but did you guys hear about how the EVO numbers were revealed, and the only game that has more competitors than last year was Tekken?
100%.
And it was around 200 extra competitors.
Yeah, it's crazy. Add one more because Dion just entered. Oh, for those that know, I'll quickly segue. Like, I was about to go to bed last night, and Dion had planned to go to Evo for a while now. Like, I bought his finals day tickets. We're all going as a group, and then I get a message and it's like, it's not even addressed to me. He said he called out Rami for whatever reason. He's not even part of the group, and he's like, "Oh, I haven't registered for Evo," and I'm like, "Are you serious, dude? Like, Evo Rego has closed. What? And he's like, "Can I do anything?" I'm like, this guy. To make a long story short, I chased up some people and we tried to get him registered, and lucky we did. But yeah, God damn it, Dion.
What was Mr. Wiz like pretty chill about it?
Yeah, pretty much wrote a standard reply. Just pay the entry fee, give us your Smash GD. I don't even want to reveal the letter I sent to him because I'm literally, it's me begging on my hands and knees.
You're like,
please, can you register one more person? Like, we'll pay double the entry fee. Just please.
You should put it up for us to see. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, but yeah, long story short, we got Dion in, so yeah.
I feel like he might have looked Dion up and been like, yeah, all right. Like, yeah. Dion's got like a little bit of clout around him.
But yeah, to answer Alchemist, it's great to see that growth in Tekken continuously. Like, to be the only game where the entry numbers have gone up is just massive. It's such a great accomplishment. It's like
something interesting.
Yeah.
Sorry, go.
No, just like almost in every small little facet, one way or another, whether it's like the mages or the spectacles or the spectator experience, in some way, like the Tekken as the World Tour is just crazy to see, and this is just another facet of it. Just having the entry numbers increase, it's just the Tekken train is not stopping.
I have
Something
a
I was
question.
going to say. Sorry, just let me say this.
Yeah, no, go.
I was going to say that I don't know if this is confirmed, but I've been hearing, because the EVO brackets, they're not published yet. They're not public. So, but I've been hearing that Ni is not attending EVO, who I think would be considered the favorite.
Wow. I've heard rumors that EVO is not like a qualifier for. Like, no, you don't get any points or whatnot.
That was my question, yeah. Like, I was going to ask you, Alchemist, you might know this, but like, you know how last year EVO was like automatic qualifier? This year it's not doing that, or? No,
EVO is in no way correlated or related to the TWT.
Oh, so they've taken it away then?
That's very weird. Yeah, I wonder what their reasoning is behind that. And even if it's true, and even if it's not, like, why wouldn't you want to enter the biggest tournament in the world and just have that on your mantelpiece? That's quite.
Is EVO part of the Capcom Pro Tour?
Yes.
Yeah, so it seems a bit confusing. Like, last year it made more sense. Like, it's the biggest tournament, so you get an automatic qualifier. But now it's just not part of anything. So yeah, I thought that was weird.
There has to be something behind it, something we don't know about.
Yeah, that's my like inclination as well.
And
Regardless, you know, the TWT is still getting a lot of exposure with or without Evo. Have you the numbers for every single tournament have just been, I think, double or triple what they were last year. Like I remember last year actually not one of my favorite tournament was Rev Major from last year's TWT.
Oh yeah, that
And
was great. Yeah.
That had like I think 8,000 viewers max. And this year I'm seeing like challenger events that have 12,000, 15,000 people. And it's just amazing to see that more and more people are watching rather than the game dying out.
Yeah, dude.
So I'm sure Evo will get huge numbers. I want to see Tekken stay up there with Street Fighter and DBZ in terms of viewership. And I'm pretty sure it can, like with the current momentum it has going into Evo, with how consistently good and hype the events have been.
Yeah, I think it'll continue. Tekken will continue to grow. Like whether it'll obtain Street Fighter views, that's another story. I mean, like I'm of the mind Tekken is the better game, but just because Street Fighter has just been the face for so long and it's just appealing to the casual audience, it's just going to be hard to reach their status. But I can only hope. But as far as spectating, like participation wise, like, you know, the more I tune into Smash GG events and just see numbers, like Tekken's always at the top. Like sometimes it's at the top, sometimes it's got the most entrants at a major. So it's only getting better.
I just want to answer a question that was posted in chat. It says, "Do you think Soul Calibur 6 will affect Tekken's growth?" My personal opinion is no, because you know it's another 3D game. Doesn't mean you can't play Tekken at the same time. And Tekken's been out for a long enough time to have established itself for what kind of game it is. So if people want to play it, they'll still play it. Yeah. Whereas Soul Calibur is an entirely new thing, and if people are excited, they see gameplay for it, they're going to play Soul Calibur. But that doesn't mean they won't play both games.
I think, in my opinion, it will affect Tekken, at least by maybe, I reckon, 10%, because I feel like there's a contingent of people that will prefer Soul Calibur because of the movement and the shorter combos, or lack of sort of juggles. I definitely think there are people that are just waiting for that, and they will drop Tekken for it. I don't think it's going to be a big amount, but I think there's going to be like just a tiny bit.
Fair enough. I actually got to play Soul Calibur 6 on the weekend, like
YSB.
The E3 build. It was at YSB, brought to us by Bandai Namco, the legends themselves, and I thought it was absolutely spectacular. It looks so much better than the videos make it out to be, and the gameplay is really smooth. There's still some things I don't understand because the last Soul Calibur I played was 3, but playing it and just being able to try the characters, like in the build I was playing Taki, and she has like 4 or 5 stances now. The last time I played her in 3, she only had 1 or 2. So it's like a huge jump for me, but I had a lot of fun figuring out everything, and it just looked amazing. I just wanted to keep playing it.
Did you play Yoshi?
No, I don't play Yoshi. Yusuf wants to play Yoshi, but Yoshi's not my kind of character. I've mentioned before, but my characters are Siegfried, Taki, Raphael, and Setsuka. But only 2 of them are in the game so far.
Is Fade confirmed giving that game a chance once it comes out?
Yeah, he's playing Zasalamel and Yoshi, I think.
Interesting. Yeah, like Dread mentioned, I think just because I know from previous history, there's a little bit of a contingent, like crossover between Soul Calibur and Tekken players, but I don't think it's drastic enough that it would affect one or the other. So yeah, like people keep playing each one or the other. People drop off on one. And like Alchemist said, Tekken's has got an established fan base where it'll keep thriving regardless.
I think Koreans' love for Tekken is like a very strong driver in making sure that Tekken will stay alive and will live on. It's especially if Koreans like a game and they try at a game, it like whatever it be, like bloody Tekken, and StarCraft is also one. It's amazing because like the Koreans can really focus and make the game look spectacular from a spectacle point of view.
I agree. It's just the mindset behind breaking down the fighting games. It's completely different to how other people do it. And in the end, it just becomes like the way to play, or like the way to try and play.
Yeah, it's funny
But I look
how
forward to Soul Calibur.
it's how Koreans have that rep of like, you know, like for the most part, I want to say that in generic quotations, like Koreans are the best at Tekkens, Japanese are the best at Street Fighter. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's just an opinion. It's funny how that came about, but yeah, just an observation.
And
Yeah, it kind of
Australia's
is.
good at.
Yeah.
We got a decent Catherine player.
Anyway, let's segue into the majors that happened during the weekend. Did you guys tune into versus fighting?
Yeah,
I watched nothing.
I watched 2 matches last night, and then I had to go to bed. But I caught up the rest, in the morning. So yeah.
All I have to say is, holy Miguel, man! Like, it's always
Holy Miguel.
it's always one thing at the next major that's like the talking point. It's just like this major, just, you got to see like a character you never see in top 8 in the form of Miguel.
He's actually been in a top 8 before, but it's in a Korean tournament.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 2 top 8s, and both of the times were being played by Help Me in Africa Tekken League, both in 2016. And once he played him, Help Me played him at Evo Sai for 1 match, but he was maining Law and Paul for that tournament. But yeah, not in this year's TWT. This is quite a while ago.
2016, was that FR or was that vanilla?
That was FR.
Okay.
Yeah. What did you guys think of the matches overall? Anyone stand out to you?
My favorite was the finals, mainly because Kokoma is my favorite player, and he was playing Kazumi, which is my main character. And
Kokoma is my favorite as well.
Just watching that match where Kokoma is making every perfect decision until the very end, where it times out, and he's thinking ahead, like the mind game, the concentration to make the decision down the line, the clutch. Just, it's so beautiful. Because for me, I'm the kind of Tekken, the player that likes really slow, methodical Tekken. So watching timeouts and watching the mind game happen, like when both players have like around 30% HP and every decision matters where there's 5 seconds left, it just so spectacular, which is why my favorite match from last year was Rev Major, Knee versus JDCR, because there were a lot of timeouts. So like this, I had the same feeling for this grand finals. And overall, like the way Kokoma approached the matchup with Kazumi was spectacular, I think. So that was my highlight.
Yeah, I think he played real well this tournament. Like I've never seen him play like that before, like all of his games.
Sorry, what was that? I didn't hear it.
Oh no, I was just saying, I think Kokoma played like really well this entire tournament. Like I've never seen him play like that ever. I think like that switched on really.
Yeah, he kind of played like a deathmatch mentality in tournament, because I don't think he's ever had the chance to play against someone in a long set like that where he was able to slow it down, because you can see that Saint wasn't playing overtly aggressively. He was just like letting things happen and trying to make a clutch decision. You guys saw how clutch Saint was, hitting so many rage arts, so many clutch down forward 2s to win rounds in all these matches he had in the top 8. So you can tell he was being very calculating, and Kokoma was trying to read in the same manner the way the Tekken was being played in the matches. So I think like because both players weren't trying to be so aggressive, you can see Kokoma play in his natural and like with what he's comfortable with, because he's known as a deathmatch player, as a long set player. And he's been getting better and better at tournament. But yeah, I agree. We haven't seen him play like that before.
Yeah,
I think it helped because he had that. He managed to gain momentum with his like giant losers run. So he managed to play consistently enough to stay warm, and then also given that long set chance he has against Saint, it was really, really good. I can't wait for the day Kokoma actually wins a tournament.
Same.
I can't wait for that pop off. I cannot wait.
I thought we were going to see it. I really thought we were going to see it.
What do you guys thoughts on JDCR going with Heihachi again?
Well, I like it because I hate watching Dragunov. I feel like because every time I watch JDCR win with Dragunov, I genuinely get angry because I feel like the character is doing so much work. Even though JDCR is an unbelievable player, I feel like Dragunov is just so good and so annoying to watch for me. But yeah, watching him play Heihachi was, refreshing, but it didn't pan out in the end.
But like a few people mentioned this. Like, do you think he picked him just for fun? Like, didn't really care at that point about points and whatnot?
I don't know, to be honest.
I think you
I'd
can
like to
only
ask him.
you can only ask him because one thing the commentators did harp on is whether or not it's true. You can only ask JDCR is like whether he's gotten to the point where he feels like maybe he should have a secondary character in lieu, and maybe he was kind of testing the waters there. But yeah, I'm not too sure. All I know is everyone popped off. I was popping off when he picked off Heihachi. But yeah.
He's got enough points to be able to do that. And
That's the thing.
Because the way the finals work, your points, I don't think your points actually determine how easy of a bracket you get. So I think he's just like, yeah, let's just give it a shot, I guess.
I think that was the first time Kokoba has beaten JDCR in tournament as well.
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken.
I think so too. And it was pretty convincing as well, that last game.
That Geese pick putting in work.
Yeah. But yeah, I've been like very impressed with like Sephi Black. Like I think he plays really, really good. Like every time, like I watch some of his pool matches as well, and I actually get excited to watch his matches. Like I can't remember who it was that told me that they reckon he's like top 3 in EU.
That was probably me.
Oh, okay, yeah. But yeah, do you actually think he's top 3?
Yeah, I think the top 3 in EU are him, Kanan Trench, and who was the last one? Asim.
I was about to just bring up Asim.
How do you rate Super Akuma?
No, I don't know how to rate him, to be honest, because I'm not going to judge him based on the character he plays. He's very successful, but because he plays Akuma, I don't know how well the scene knows Akuma. So, but what he's shown is that he can perform well in a tournament and consistently place when he needs to. But as a player, I can't judge him because, I don't know if it's him playing well. I don't know if it's his opponent's lack of understanding in terms of the matchup. So if I would have seen him play another character, maybe I'd have a better understanding. But I don't.
What about Tishumon? Would you put him
Tishumon,
up there?
Tishumon, I think, is also in contention for top 3, but it's really, really hard to say like who's top 3. It might be like a top 2 and like or top 4 and they're all the same skill or whatever, but I don't know. Tishumon was also the name I had in my head when I said top 3. Yeah. But the top 3, that's what I think.
It was really that was a crazy match. Tishumon getting taken out by Sephi. Honestly, I thought Tishumon would be close. I thought he would get top 4 or top 6.
Yeah, same.
Once Kudan was out, I'm just like, all right, Tishumon should get pretty far. But he got taken out by an EU person.
Yeah, he got taken out by the other Devil Kazuya, the guy that made top 8. The Devil Jin player as well, yeah. And then I think Dimeback got taken out by
as well, yeah.
I've forgotten. Who did he get taken out by?
False God.
That's right. That Steve play was amazing, man.
It was really good. I love watching Steve, so it's always welcome. But watching him do well with Steve against Dimeback and beat Dimeback, he's an underdog for sure, and it was really nice to watch. Yeah, really exciting match.
You got beat by Gosane as well, Dimeback.
Yeah, the law player.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of and EU really showed up for this event. They showed that they can hang in there with some of the best. Their top players performed the way they needed to, and there's just a lot of good moments for the EU scene in that tournament.
I think that's a reoccurring theme with all these international majors where the Koreans and Japanese show up. The homegrown talent is able to take it to them. So you see it in America, you saw it in Australia. You even seen it in the other Asian countries. So yeah, the gap is slowly shortening.
I actually think Tekken is the number one like representative scene in Australia that can do well, like compared to every other scene in Australia. Being someone that's like looked at enough of the top places in every scene, I actually think Tekken is very impressive.
Really? Not.
Yeah, we work hard.
Yeah, I remember. I think it was Ash that brought up a similar subject, that like as far as the high end of like Australian talent, like Tekken seems to be at the forefront for Australia. Like we're able to compete internationally more so in Tekken than most other games.
Yeah, I mean, because in Melee, like most of us would only make round 2. There's like maybe one person that could make top 64, but that's kind of it.
What about like Street Fighter?
We drown. I think Street Fighter is in a better position now than it has ever been. But I think EVA Japan BK got, what did he get, 40 something? Yeah, something like that. I think I honestly think if Naveed traveled a lot more and actually bothered to show up a lot more, he'd have more results to his name. But because
100%.
Our only representative, honestly, is Dion, who puts in so much work.
Yeah. 100%.
And money.
And money. Don't forget that.
Don't forget, Dion is sponsored by his wallet. But yeah,
he doesn't need sponsorship.
Yeah.
And Abby's his manager.
Dude, I'm not seeing dividends from all that work. But yeah, 100%. I even just some of the others, other top talent. Like if we had the opportunity to travel or like experience that international experience a lot more, I think we see a lot of good results. Which is why
I completely agree. We just need more chances.
Yeah, which is why
honestly.
I'm really excited for EVA. Really excited for EVA. For those that don't know, Chandon Y unfortunately cannot make EVO due to some visa issues, so Lee Min Ho will be
bloody hell, mate.
Yeah, will be taking his place.
Let's go, Tin.
I just found this out now. This is news to me. I'm actually shocked.
Wow, really?
Are you really shocked? Because I was shocked.
I'm genuinely shocked. Oh, wow.
He only found out 4 days ago that he got declined, that his visa got declined. Yeah. So we've been in the background just trying to like as quick as possible get Tin on it.
Yeah.
So that he can actually go to Evo. So
well, all right then.
But I mean,
Alchem is clearly not happy.
That being said, though, a lot of it was his fault. But yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Like I'll place some blame in. It's like you don't wait that long to get a visa when you know you're going to be.
It's traveling. Not that. Sorry, I should say it's not that I'm unhappy that Tin is going. No way, Tin.
No, 100%, dude. I know what you're going to say, and it's just like everyone wants to see how Naveed is going to fare internationally. Everyone. I just want
to see Naveed body some people.
Exactly.
I know he can do it. Uh-huh. He's a top tier player. Like he can go with the best of them, and I just want to see them like put himself out there as well as Australia on the map, and I think he's a great representative to do that.
Yeah.
And knowing this now, like I'm kind of shocked and also disappointed, but I know it's not his fault.
Yeah, well, it kind of is.
Or it is partially his fault, Alchemist.
It is a little bit his fault. When Brown Man's telling you, hey, you need to apply, and he doesn't till 2 months later.
Mm-hmm.
He pretty much applied like last minute type thing. So
and from a little backstory I was hearing, like the people dealing with him weren't the best to deal with, and might have been the issue in him not getting it, but that's a whole nother story. But if you're looking for Naveed to compete, I'd say wait for Seam, because very good chance he goes to Singapore.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Oh yes, I love Seam. Seam would be really good to see. Cause just
it's just you don't get to see him body Americans. Not that I hate
almost all of the Southeast Asia majors are always top tier because they have Japanese, Korean players, and C players.
Yeah.
Like everyone could travel to them, and it's always like the plays that you want to watch are like there. So yeah, I can't complain. But obviously, him not going to Evo, I'm still trying to absorb it.
I picture just a single tear.
We'll give you a moment, dude. We'll give you a moment. It's all right. That's how we all reacted.
Eli's just like wiping his eyes while he puts on the best normal voice that he can.
You don't know how much money I was gonna make side betting on Naveed, and it's all gone now.
I think Naveed should show up with a Tin's ID. He should pass, I think.
My favorite thing, like you said, you're gonna make a lot of money from side bets. My favorite thing is when Dion versus someone that doesn't know him, but like it's in like a money match, and he wins. Maybe sometimes clean 5-0, and he just looks at his opponent and says, "Man, you're pretty good," like a condescending way. I've seen him do it like 2 times, and I just cry with laughter every time.
Was this overseas or something?
No, in Australia.
Oh,
I won't mention names, but yeah, it's just hilarious.
Oh, yeah, going back to VS fighting, what do you think of Joey Fury's placing?
Well, because he's a good American player, but I think he got 9th, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was gonna say, did you expect like higher, or do you expect that's what was gonna happen, or?
I honestly thought he'd do worse, but he did better than I expected.
Okay.
Yeah, because his pool was quite tough, if I remember correctly.
I'll be the first to admit that I'm still super new, still super inexperienced to like being able to analyze the game. Do any of you guys get the feeling that EU players they tend to they'll play, but then they'll pick a moment where they just completely try to cash in like really, really hard and just like turn the mix-ups up to like 100% and just like, and it either works like really well or they just get completely butt blasted and like it backfires.
Probably
because that's what I feel like happens a lot. Happened a lot in VS fighting, and then you see these big upsets, like Joey Fury getting taken out, Dimebag getting taken out, but then you see them play like you see Devil Kazuya play Kokoma, and Kokoma just like plays really patient and starts like picking apart the mix-up, sidestepping everything. It's just very interesting to see. I'm not sure if anyone else bears the same sentiment.
I can't
when you
remember.
Say this, sorry, go on, Dan.
Oh yeah, no, sorry. I was gonna say I can't remember like all the matches directly, but I do remember a lot of just, I guess, random rage arts just missing. Like that's what I remember throughout.
I think half of those belong to Devil Kazuya.
Yeah, I just felt a lot were just like really hard read rage arts, but yeah, that's just me, I think.
I was going to say, Darren, when you were mentioning that you feel like that's an EU thing, do you mean versus Korean players or in general, or versus like top players?
I feel like in general, it's like they'll play and then at one point they just go all in. They like try to cash in as much as possible and like try to close that round.
Because I feel like there's a lot of times where, specifically Korean players, they're more used to a certain style of play from their opponent. So when they travel, they see this kind of play and they're uncomfortable with like what they're seeing. It's an entirely new experience, even though it's still Tekken. Like they're not used to seeing someone play like that. So they end up saying, "Oh, like I might not be able to beat this guy if I let him do what he wants. I'm just going to play a bit more aggressively," even though that's not how they usually play. And I think that's what might have happened with a lot of the EU players. Like they're uncomfortable or they don't know their opponent. So they're like, okay, now's my chance. I'm going to take all the momentum I have. Maybe I'll just win this round quickly so they can't make a comeback. Because, Tekken 7, it's easy to make a comeback with like one bad decision. Or like two bad decisions.
But I feel like that's something that the EU players tend to lean on more than I've seen any other kind of scene do it. Because I feel like if, like, in watching Japanese players, if their mix-up doesn't work, I feel like they kind of take a step back and try to reanalyze the situation. Where I feel like EU is just like, all right, that didn't work. Let's do it again. Let's try it again.
Probably, I don't know. But to be honest, even though that might be correct to a degree, it's really hard to generalize a certain type of player in a country or a region.
Definitely.
Yeah, but as a whole, if you're talking about it in terms of the majority, that might be true. But I honestly didn't pay that much attention to it. There's a question in the chat. Where do you guys rank Australia internationally? better than EUNA? I think that's too hard to
It's too hard to answer, man.
pinpoint.
I think we got that question on the weekend, and yeah, it's something that it's just you'd never really know.
Like the countries would have to constantly compete each other for you to get a proper answer. I mean, like the first Evo I went to, Dion placed top 16, Krokop placed top 32. I placed top 64. That's like a handful of Aussies out of the massive,
Really?
what was it? Like 500, 600 entrants. So you could say just based on you can't even like make a proper accurate ratio based on those numbers because it's just a once-off event. Yeah, it's too hard to answer. It's too hard to answer.
Something I do want to say is, in light of recent events and things I've discovered, I'm leading towards the fact that the top 3 scenes in the world might be Korea, Japan, and Pakistan as number 3. Because from what I've seen from them, I'm just absolutely blown away. Like, their players, Jesus Christ, the things they do.
Yeah,
and
especially
understand about the game.
Pakistan. Like, not many people know. Like, they've been hidden under the radar for like a long time, but their scene is actually godlike, and you got to see it at wow, what was the major?
Yeah, is this based off that major that was recently, or just...
Not just that?
Not just that. I've seen the actual players before, and like under the radar, like people actually give Pakistan players like legit props. Like, I
was gonna ask. I haven't seen many other videos apart from the ones recently. So are they like ones you've seen just on YouTube or something recently?
Oh, there's videos that Dion himself has recorded on his phone, and he's just posted them on WhatsApp or on Twitter or whatever, and I've just watched them.
Yeah.
So, like, for example, you guys know how Koreans are synonymous with being godlike, like top tier at long sets or death matches.
Yeah.
And then I see a first 10 between Arslan Ash, who is considered the top player for Tekken in Pakistan, and he was doing a first to 10 with Ulsan and Kazumi Mira, and he won both first to 10s. One of them was 10-5, and I think the other one was 10-3.
Wow. Okay.
And Ulsan is 100% top 3 Kazumis in the world. No question. Top 3 Kazumis in the world. And the Pakistani player won. And I went to Ulsan's Twitter, and he posted messages in Korean, which I translated using Google Translate, and it's basically saying stuff like the Pakistani players are so good. Like, this guy beat me with Kazumi with my own character. I'll do my best to beat him in the tournament. But he was like, he had like 4 Twitter posts saying how amazing this player was.
Wow. Okay. I'd like to see those matches.
I'll see if I can find them, but I don't know if they were ever uploaded.
Because I did hear about them, but I never got to see them. Yeah.
But yeah, I was really, really impressed. Like, I want to see these are the players I want to see traveling, the players I want to see sponsored. Whenever I see a tournament, I see people in the chat say, this guy is the best, this character, or like, this guy is top 3. And it's like, when people say like, this guy's top 3, I just think about the 50 to 100 players in Korea, Japan, or Pakistan that are better than the person I'm watching right now with that specific character, but people don't know about them.
Yeah,
and
man.
I think the easiest representation of that is Taisei from last year's Evo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, there's 100 players better than the people you're watching, but people just don't know about them because they don't travel. It's probably some businessman that goes after work to play some Tekken in his relaxation time. And yeah, if he just shows up to a tournament, he'll probably come first place. Like, I see people say this guy is the best. Like, they say Tishimon is the best Raven, but they might not know Go Attack, because Go Attack is, it's undisputed the best Raven to ever play Tekken 7. Maybe not the older games, but Tekken 7 for sure. And there's like, this can be said about every character that people might not know about. So yeah, but
that's watching Korean Masters and Japan Masters is so interesting, because like at any point you're just waiting to see like who comes out of a pool, because you're not guaranteed. Like, I don't think anyone's guaranteed a win at all in a bracket like that in Korea or Japan.
That's what I like seeing about those the Korea and Japan Masters. Like, you always see just a totally different top 8 in those.
like the Geese player. What was his name? Something Minnesota. He made top 16 in like one of the death pools.
Yeah, like that's what I love seeing. And I think I was looking at the schedule for the TWT. I think Tokyo Masters is not too far off.
Yeah, it's in mid-August.
Yeah, that would be great to see. Just because you get all those players that don't travel often, and you'll see, like, for example, what you were saying, like, this guy might be the best Raven and whatnot.
Mm. I had something on my mind, but I completely forgot what it was. It was about like places in tournaments. Oh yeah, the Korean Masters event. Like for example, I think I don't remember which pool exactly it was. I think it was Pool H. Was considered the death pool because it had, I think, at least 10 big name Korean players, and one of them being Secret. And he lost his second match or something. But the funny thing is, I've talked to Saint and Junding and who else was it? I can't remember. It was those two, and they both think Secret is the best player in Korea.
Really?
Yeah, they think he's the best player in Korea.
Oh, okay.
But he's just getting used to playing in tournament. He did win a tournament earlier this year, which was the Rocks and Roll tournament, which was like all Korean players, and he beat Lohai in the grand finals after the reset.
Well, maybe if we're lucky, we'll get to see him at EVO.
Yeah, he's going.
maybe if we're
Wink,
lucky.
wink.
Wink, wink.
He's actually one of my favorite players. Secret is godlike to watch. His Josie is so unique.
Yeah, I love watching his videos, man. Back in the day, like when I used to watch a lot of Tekken videos, I used to always click on his ones.
Yeah. I distinctly remember when I did watch a lot of Josie, like his were always first to come up. So, yeah, it'd be good if he comes to EVO. Wink, wink. Yeah.
I want to take this time to transition, if you guys don't mind, to IESF, which we have coming up this Thursday. So we have, if I name the 4 players, do you guys know the 4 players? I'll name them if you guys don't know anyone. Okay, so it's Stuart G from WA. It's Dion representing Sydney. It's Lee Min Ho, aka Tin, representing Melbourne, and TK Jabu or Gab representing Brisbane.
All right, before we proceed, I'm going to ask all 3 of you straight off the bat, who are your picks to win?
Dion.
I think Dion as well.
Look, I don't. Objectively, I'm not going to answer because I don't care. My heart says Tin no matter what. Let's go. Tin. Let's fucking go Tin. I believe.
I think it'll be very interesting. My head says Dion, but Lee Min Ho can definitely pull quotation marks depending on who you ask. Slap, wink, wink, Aiken, the upset. But yeah.
Ooh, this guy.
Yeah, it'll be very interesting.
If only Naveed could have gone, we could have seen the match we want to see. But
What, you mean Dion versus Naveed?
yeah, like
Nah, they'd probably make a side bet. We'll just say, I'll give you half of the winnings, and then just pick like Akuma, both of them, and just play the match on the stream or something. They're always going to sandbag one another. We're never going to see the match we want to see.
Yeah, we're in like some dark timeline where it's never going to happen.
But yeah, I was going to say, if you guys didn't notice or haven't read, they've actually changed the format for IESF this year. Whereas last year was a round robin. This year it's a unseeded double elimination 2 bracket tournament or something.
What?
So you have
Wait, what's a 2 bracket tournament?
Okay, well, 2 bracket isn't the right way of putting it, but there's no bracket. It's just there's no seeding, and you just verse like it's
just a 4-man bracket.
Yeah, with double elimination.
With no seeding.
Yeah.
Holy hell.
I don't know how I feel about it.
So I think this format favors Dion a lot more than it did round robin.
It's a bit weird to seed 4 players as well, I find, but yeah okay.
But the thing is, I still think anyone can win. because you don't know who you're versing.
That's true. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
But I think round robin was a lot easier for.
It's just like you're hypothetical. You potentially might be getting a grand finals match first.
Yeah.
Sick. That's awesome.
I know how well that sits with me as a long time TO, but whatever.
You guys want to hear something ridiculous?
Yes.
Yes.
If you want to watch this IESF tournament happen live in Sydney, a single ticket to get into the venue costs you a whopping $450.
What a fuck!
What? So there's gonna be no
So
one.
there's gonna be
in the
no
audience.
one in the audience.
Because it's not for Tekken. It's like a gaming convention where it has other games like Fortnite and everything else. I think it's more of a business venture where investors show up. That's why.
Fair enough, but
I don't agree with any of that.
I guess
at
I
all.
don't expect like a crowd then. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why would you not want a crowd?
Battlecat Bunker mentioned that it's a conference for esports. That's a perfect way of describing it. That's probably exactly what it is. So don't bother. Like I don't know if you can fork out $450 to watch your.
But
favorite
there's
players
obviously there's going to be a stream, yeah.
Yeah, there's going to be a stream. We don't know what the stream is
Pay-per-view,
yet.
mate. Pay-per-view.
There will be a stream.
The question is how long are they going to keep the footage before they release it publicly? Wasn't there like a break last year as well?
No. This time it's live and it's on Twitch.
Okay, all right.
Alchemist, question from Rec: is it first to 3 the whole way through?
Yes, I believe so.
Even winners final?
I believe so.
Okay, this will be an interesting one.
I just want to point out, Battlecat Bunker pointed out in the chat that if you don't want to go all the way to Darling Harbour, you can go watch it at BKB, which they'll be hosting. And just a quick shout out to Battlecat Bunker, which if you live in Sydney and you want to visit a place to experience what it was like to have the old school arcade feel of the Tekken community, it's the closest thing you can get to it. So it's in Maryland, Sydney, and you basically have as much setups as you want for any fighting game as you want. And you can play on PC or PS4.
Yeah.
It's absolutely amazing place to just
Sounds
go and
awesome,
chill
man.
with everyone.
Shout out to Stefan.
I'm sure you guys know about it by now, but yeah, shout outs to Stefan, shout outs to Battlecat Bunker. If you are in Sydney, I can see like almost half of the names in the chat I know have been to Battlecat Bunker, and they have nothing but great things to say about it. Like, look, the Handsome Man 69, I met him for the first time on Friday. He was there on Friday, and he's saying BKB was amazing. I'm really glad that people are liking it. So yeah, if you want to get to know the scene in Sydney, head out to BKB in Maryland. It's a great place. Battlecat Bunker.
How are the numbers there, like that you get?
Like every night I go, I always have at least a few people with me playing Tekken, and if not, I'm streaming, and the other people that play the designated game for the night are there, and they're just playing their game. But there's always people there, and every single time I've gone, there's always been like the same 3 people there, and that's Stefan, obviously because he works there, and he owns the place, but also BK Sama and DD, who are 2D players from Sydney. They're there almost every single time I've been there, but yeah, there's always people there.
While we're talking about our local scenes, let's quickly hop on the locals that happened during the past weekend, since YSB and Catch Warriors did both happen. So with YSB, see the return of Handsome Boy into form, and Cruise Control as well.
Yeah, both of them played really well.
Yeah,
Cruise Control actually beat me in pools. But this tournament, I was focusing on trying to get better at my tournament, Steve, and he was having none of that. He just put it straight down my throat, and it went straight to work.
Jesus.
That's classic Cruise.
Yeah, he played really well this tournament, and the grand finals was actually really good to watch live. I don't know how good it was for you guys on Twitch watching it, but watching it live was really, really good.
Is it on the Ozhadu channel? I didn't catch it, but yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I'll quickly link the brackets in the chat so you guys can look. But yeah, it's just because I know I don't know if inconsistent is the right word for him showing up or not. But like to make second when he's not always there, it's just testament to how good he is.
He actually said he plays a lot of Tekken online, but yeah, he hasn't been offline in a while.
Okay.
because
What are
he's busy
your
with
what are your
uni and other
numbers
stuff.
usually like at YSBs? Like, have
Well, they got 38 this YSB.
It's always like a minimum or like a minimum of 35 to 45.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
That's
That's
like a
really
minimum. Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's one name that stands out for you, Alchemist, but one that does for me because I feel like he only just recently started attending is Kuya Nico. He almost got top 8 or top 8.
Yeah, he's been
Yeah,
doing
yeah.
well. He's been one of those people that have transitioned from being an online warrior to being an offline competitor, and he's like part of the scene now. He's even coming out to dinner with us, hanging out with the guys, even when it's not just Tekken. So yeah, it's really good to.
Yeah.
And he has improved a lot ever since he started playing offline.
That's good. Another clear-cut example of just come out once and you'll see the results.
I think his first offline was BAM 10, wasn't it?
It was.
Like, well, it depends. If you want to say, but his first time he actually came offline was not at a major event. It was actually at a friend's place. So like Lupa's house. He just invited him over, and then that was the first time we met him.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
Yeah, and we just had an offline dojo, and everyone just started playing, and he started playing against everyone, meeting everyone. So that was his first offline gathering, but yeah, his first big event was BAM 10.
That would have been the sickest first event he's ever gone to. Who's Sugar Daddy?
That's Harry, anime freak.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay.
Yeah, rocking the Bears.
Oh, Lord Silver made an appearance. Wow.
He's still
you
around.
Could say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But good results. Good results, except for Rec. How does a Geese player not get top 8? I'll never know.
Straight up.
Let's move on to Couch Warriors.
Jesus.
Wait, Zahn knocked out Rec. Was it a Akuma Geese game?
I don't remember. I think Rec will tell us what it was.
Man, yeah.
Who did Zahn use in the grand final? Oh, not the grand final. Sorry, the top against Cruz.
I honestly don't remember. He's like 20 characters.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Yeah. The round was good. It was really stacked. We had 35 people. We also had a team tournament, which was 3 versus 3, and it had 14 teams, which is ridiculous. That was amazing.
That was really fun.
Real good.
Team tournaments are always hype because, it's first to one, and you just wait to see who's jumping on next to beat the person that's beating everyone. And
people talk shit.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I can't confirm. We had ours last month, and I can't confirm. People talk shit. I love them.
It's something we should do more often. Like I haven't seen. When was the last time we did one, Abby?
The last time we did it was December.
I can't even remember.
Last December.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Where we had the Mission Dojo versus Infamous for the finals.
That's right. Yeah.
But yeah,
I feel like we should do it more often, but a lot of people have come up to me and they've asked for it to have it every month. I don't know if that's the best.
I don't think that's the best thing to do because there is such a thing as them getting stale.
Yeah, definitely.
It'll lose its appeal.
I think every second month is more appropriate, and we could probably do it like just a random one, like random draw of teams, the alternating months.
Yeah,
it's not a tournament you can have all the time.
Yeah,
you need to have it. It's something to reinvigorate the scene after after BAM, everyone's tired, they're burned, they might be burned out. So that's a good fun factor thing to throw in there.
You know what novelty tournament I thought was really cool that you guys did? It was the one where one guy controls the stick and the other one controls the buttons.
Ooh.
That
was
one was
a long
hilarious.
time ago.
Yeah. And
in fact, I don't even think I was there.
Oh, really? Okay. But I think that might have been in tag.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely not in 7. This is the first time I've heard about that.
Really? You were around then, weren't you?
I don't know. Was I? When was this? But I did. You got to remember, I didn't go to many offline events in Tag 2. I think I went to
okay.
three YSBs total, maybe 2.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, nah, I just remember you guys had a tournament like that, and I think there was some videos, but it was just hilarious, like all the miss inputs and stuff. But yeah, that was awesome.
Do you know who won that tournament?
Oh, nah, I can't remember. I can't remember what the teams were, but if you ask your group chat, they'll know for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they will.
Back to the results. First was Aiken. Second was Lee Min Ho, 10. Third was dANiel. Fourth was B-Boy Phoenix. Fifth, double equal fifth was Rami, and third. Third is a new player who has like been playing online for quite a while apparently, but his first offline was Bam, and he made the Pegasus Cup, the first leg.
What was his name again?
Third.
The Paul guy?
Third,
Yeah,
Paul
third.
guy. The
Yeah,
Pegasus
Paul,
Cup, for those that don't know, is a league that started in Melbourne and that's planning, from what I hear, to pan off into other states as well, which will all finalize in a big finals later down the year. But you'll hear more about that from other sources. But he showed up to that and came out to BAM for his first time and came top 8 in a stuck tournament. So shout outs to him. And yes, equal seventh was dreadtech and Ant-Man. Both guys putting in
nice
work.
work, Cred.
Thank you.
Yeah.
In that top 8.
Yeah, dude. I know about Sydney, but Melbourne, top 8 is never guaranteed for anyone. Well, it's never an easy thing. It's good to see, like, Aiken getting, like, I don't know how well he does against Tin, but from memory, he usually comes up short. But just leading up to
and
it.
Tin's been fucking him up in casuals as well.
Yeah.
Like every time we go offline, we've been going to Burnout's house every Thursday. Tin's just been like just destroying him. So it's really good to see Aiken like still like being able to focus and bring it back in tournament.
Aiken was playing the long con. He was sandbagging the whole time.
Yeah.
The ultimate sandbag.
I'll get you one day.
Yeah.
Just saving it for this rand bet.
I know a lot of people are like hyped to see how well Dion, Tin, and like Naveed, if he was going, will do internationally. But like on the low key, I want to see how well Aiken does as well, because he's still a strong player. Can do a lot of damage.
And he's traveled like kind of a bit as well, which is good.
Yeah, I remember he went to a few tournaments overseas.
He went to Strong Style.
Yeah, he went to
and
Strong
he went
Style,
to,
yeah. And they called him Rip.
Yeah, and Jono as well. Like I know, like I might be alone in this opinion, but I still rate him very well. Maybe not like as high as Tin and all that. I still, like, to this day, like I think no one shouts his praises more than I do. I still think when he's on point, he's very fearsome.
Oh, me too, man.
Yeah.
I think one certain best body needs to start bloody traveling. You know, you just one certain best body guy. I think he could do well.
Nah, but like I was gonna say as well, like with Jono, like when he's switched on, he's fucking switched on. Like
100%.
He'll fuck you up like real bad.
100%. Like he's for the second time he's versed, I think, Tin in tournament, and like he can compete, but just falls up short. And I think the issue is nerves. Like to this day, like he'll tell you himself.
Yeah, it's always a nerves thing for him. I remember one OHN though, he plays real well. Like, was it top 4 or 5 or something? This was a while ago though. Do you remember?
He's placed top 8 before. I think it might have been a button smash, but
okay.
Might have been in an OHN as well. I'm not too sure, but yeah, it was just good to see him do well. Like he's one of the guys going to Evo as well. Just more practice for him.
Yeah, I think like you were saying, I think like our top 8's always rotating quite a bit, and like everyone's improving a lot. Like Dread did really well this tournament.
Yeah,
like very
even the people outside of top 8, like Deception, he's got him real good. He's pulled out massive upsets in the past couple of months. BPG is always a threat. JY, like he plays once a month, came 9th.
Mate, he plays like once every 3 months. He still does.
Not even. I said once a month, like once a year.
Second in December, didn't he?
Yeah, he came second in December. Like Gunmo is always a threat. Like who are these? Like Demonic Burning Fist, who is very new to the scene, just came equal top 13 Cotton Sock. Like all these guys are just chewing at the bits of the good guys. So it's just, yeah, it's just good to see.
I actually like what I'm hearing because, like I said, I can only speak for Sydney, but seeing that you guys in Melbourne have also seen some new players and seen them make a splash in the scene is like great news.
Yeah.
Would you say that's-
ever since BAM finished, I personally myself have been really trying to work hard to improve. And I think this is the first tournament where I'm actually like starting. Last tournament, I completely crashed. Like I completely just like got destroyed. So I think it was really good for me anyway, for my own personal progression to see myself do as well as I did over the weekend.
Yeah, I was gonna ask Alchemist. Would you say that's the same for Sydney at the moment? Like a lot of newer players, like reaching that top 8 line.
It depends what you mean by newer players, but if you mean players that because most of the newer players, like, and I want to say newer players in quotation marks because they've been around since the release of console. If you mean like recently,
yeah.
nah, not really. That has been the consistent places for a while now, to be honest. But yeah, if you mean like just outside of top 8,
No, that's what I mean. You got your regular top 8s. Like, well, I'd say within Melbourne, top four placing doesn't really change much. Like they might mix around between the top 4. Like 5 through to 8, maybe that'll change. But it's that range outside where it's the most competitive outside top 4. Everyone is at each other's heels, and I think that's a good thing to see.
You mean the most competitive, not repetitive?
Yeah, competitive. Yeah, I say? Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's a good thing.
But yeah,
I was going to say that we're talking about Tin earlier, or Lee Min Ho, and I've heard that at BKB this Wednesday we'll be hosting a stream for the Interstaters.
Oh,
so
really?
you guys can watch him. Yeah, you guys can watch Interstaters play each other, or at least the
cool.
IESF reps. We'll be having a stream there, and just they get to play each other, do whatever, first to 5s, first to 10s, warm up matches, just mess around. Yeah, so yeah, I'm looking forward to that because I haven't seen, Tin play or Lee Min Ho play TK Jabu in a while because the last time I saw them play was the last IESF qualifier or finals, if you will. Yeah, so it's been a while, and I want to see how things have changed.
Did they play at BAM at all? Like casuals or anything?
If they did, I wouldn't know because I didn't really pay much attention to other people's casuals. I pretty much spent 90% of my time at BAM versing Koreans.
Yeah, that's right.
So I don't know.
Yeah, are you
Real strat.
you're commentating again? Yeah, this year.
Yeah, I'll be commentating with Fade, Yusuf, aka Fade.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, and how about you still traveling overseas as well
For the
finals? Or what?
We don't know yet. But our names have been put forward to the organization, and we won't know until later because they don't finalize who's doing what until much closer to the date because the finals is in mid-November. So it's a long time from now.
How did you manage to get the gig last year?
Oh, I don't know. I told Yusuf, do they need a commentator for this thing in Sydney? And he said, yeah. So I got my name through the door. They let me do it. And then all of a sudden I was told I was doing the tournament but Yusuf told me that I was doing the tournament in Korea. So I think Yusuf had a lot to do with it. But I don't know exactly what happened behind the scenes. I just know that my name in the end was the one they wanted to do commentary. Maybe I think they watched the commentary I did for the Sydney qualifier.
Oh, okay, cool.
This guy can do it.
Because
when I was in Korea, I worked with a production company. They're called Loud Productions, and they were the ones that are apparently responsible for hiring me in some way. So it wasn't like I had no way to contact them prior to that.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah.
Just want to give quick shout outs to New Zealand brethren, Dan Banter, who
I was just
qualified
about to mention him as well. Yeah.
for the New Zealand leg of the ISF. So I think he beat Kyo in the grand finals to get the position. So good, be good to see how he does.
So they're all like the New Zealand Dan Banter's also auto included into like that final stage, right?
Yeah.
Good on him. Good on him.
So that
Dan
what
Banter,
they had is pretty much the equivalent of what we're going to have on Thursday. So yeah.
Do you know what the like top 8 or even 4 was for that event? And I didn't manage. What was it? Streamed?
I know a few of the players. Is that what you mean? You just want the players' names?
Yeah, I was just curious what were the final top 4, 8 was for that event that Dan Banter came first.
So top 4 was, if I'm not mistaken, Dan Banter first, second was Kyo, third was Zazob, and fourth was this player called Rez Taro, who plays King and Geese.
Oh, okay.
There's also, I think, fifth was Wowzer and someone else. Who was it? I want to say Cornwallis.
Yeah, I was going to ask, where's that guy?
And there were 2 other players. I'm trying to remember their names. I'm not going to remember them off the top of my head. But I think those were like somewhere. 6 of the 8 players.
Oh, no, that's all good. Yeah, I just wanted to know who was like top 4 pretty much. But yeah, okay. Wowzer's that guy that plays online a lot, right?
Yeah.
He plays Alyssa and Noctis. He's a new player. Tekken 7 is his first Tekken. And he's already doing this well.
Yeah, I heard that as well. And he's just placing top 4. So yeah.
Solid player, great future ahead of him V6 with the game. Same with Dan Banter, both young players. Though I've heard Dan Banter has been playing since like mid Tekken Tag 2. And he's only 18 now, so he must have started playing when he was like 14 or younger.
Oh, so he was around in the Tekken Tag days, but probably just not at offline events and whatnot.
I think it was only I'm pretty sure it was only online.
Yeah. So how many countries is it for the IESF that go to the finals?
I genuinely don't know, because the thing is they invite I think 32 countries total, but that doesn't mean your country has to have a representative for Tekken.
Okay. Do you remember who came first last year?
Yeah, it was Book for Thailand. Dojin Dojin.
Oh, Dojin, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, and he beat Book in the finals.
Yeah, I haven't seen much of Dojin recently.
Sorry, I just want to confirm. Last year there were 28 countries, and not every single one of those countries had a representative for Tekken.
Oh, so it was a lot shorter.
I think it was. There's no way. I don't know how to check the brackets, but I want to say there was around 24 people for Tekken.
Okay, yeah.
But the funny thing is, I've heard this year Taiwan, who's the host country, has 2 spots, so they'll have 2 representatives for Tekken.
That's a little bit biased.
I don't know how that works, but that's what Dion's been telling me.
Oh well. But yeah, it'll be good to cheer on Dan Banter and whoever wins on Thursday. Very keen. Want to see our boys do well. There's just a plethora of Tekken events on the horizon. Good to see. Even
there's an event every week.
Yeah. We went from one event, one local event a month to two, at least two a month now. Three in some states. Yeah.
So
I'm not gonna lie. Sorry, go on.
Oh no, you go first.
I was gonna say you're talking about more and more events happening. I actually get burned out by just how lucky Sydney is with offline events. There's an offline event called Smash Street, and I've never been to it a single time. And it just I can't go to all these things.
I've heard of it. I've seen the top 3 photos for that event every now and again, and I'm like, that's one I don't hear often of, but I know it exists. So, yeah.
I go to BKB minimum once a week,
Yeah.
I go to the Bankstown tournament once a week,
Uh-huh.
and we usually play Tekken on the weekends somehow, whether it's like an offline at someone's house or at BKB because we have a Saturday tournament. And then there's Smash Street or like YSBs, which happen every now and again. And sometimes I go to BKB twice a week. So like, I'm actually burned out like a lot of the time.
Do you guys ever feel like oversaturation could become a thing?
No, because you don't have to go to everything.
And you're getting
But
pretty
just
good
there,
numbers at
dude.
each thing, right?
See, but that's that
I don't-
mentality of like, oh, there's so many events, I don't have to go to everything.
Oh, when you put it like that, I've never thought about it, so I don't really have an opinion on it. But Dan was saying Sorry, Dan, what was your question?
Fuck, I'm drawing a blank. What did I say?
Someone go back in time, get that clip, get that question.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, no, I was gonna say like, yeah, I can understand you'd get burnt out. Like, I mean, if there was like 3 events going on every week, you know, as you get older, there's not much time to go to everything. But oh wait, I remember now. Like, do each event get like, you know, consistent numbers every single?
Yes, unless like it's Smash Street, I can't speak for because I've never been. But everything that I do go to has consistent numbers. So yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's good then. Yeah.
And everything's always on a different day, yeah.
Yeah.
So
for example, if we have YSB, BKB is closed on that day because, you know, the people. Stefan, who runs BKB, also runs TO's YSB, so he can't be at BKB. And also, why not? Like, you should just go YSB as well because it's a bigger offline event, but you can go BKB afterwards. So yeah, it's like always on a different day and time. So you can always go. You can attend everything.
yeah, like as someone who's been in a scene where there's like only one event a month and like hear the cries for more, like I see what Sydney have, and I'm like it's good, but I've always wondered what like oversaturation might, if it happens, like too many events, is it a thing?
I want to say no.
Yeah.
I think it purely depends on the population.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say Abby and Dread. So I'll see you guys on top 8 Wednesday night fights. Yeah.
Fuck off, mate.
Come on, I want to see at least.
I'm probably not going to make it.
Yeah, for those that don't know, what Daniel's talking about, I'll be on Wednesday night fights the week before Evo. So yeah.
It's like the hardest week.
No, I think the week of Evo will be the hardest week, which is going to be in Vegas. For those that don't know, so and everyone will be in town for that, barring a few people who thought it would be in LA and booked their flights for that. Unfortunately,
I honestly don't think it's going to be a few people. I think a fair contingent of like people. Like I know Somniacs can't make it either.
Yeah, Somniac, Salty Pete, Dilo, DD from Sydney.
So Wednesday
Yeah,
night
we're all
fights
stuck
on
in
the week.
bloody in Cali, like in SoCal, while fucking they moved over to do
Yeah.
WNF.
No, which is 100% why. Well, I didn't know if it was going to happen the week of, which is why, okay, if I can't make the week of, I'll at least make the week before. And just turns out luck favored my way, and they're going to have a Wednesday night fights in Vegas the week of Evo.
Oh, okay. So do they do that every year? The week of
No, it's
that they
first
do
time,
it?
I think.
I think it's the first time.
Oh, okay, cool. And so like everyone should be there, right? Like Dion should be there as well.
I know what Dan's plans are. You'll have to ask him, but like I know me, Jono, Damo will be in town for the Vegas one, but I'll just be in town for the one this coming week, which is in what, 2 days? Yeah.
So top 8 then. Awesome. I'll see you there.
I land in the morning.
I don't think it's okay. Dude, I might still be recovering. Like the plane ride might fuck me over. Like I'm sure the stream can hear how horribly sick I am. Sorry, guys.
Is there anyone that you'd like like to get some casuals with while you're there, like in your the first week?
Honestly, I have no preference as long as I get playtime, because that's just one thing I've been lacking of lately, just games in general. Because just games in general. I feel like everything comes back to me once I start playing like long sets. I'm like, oh, my reactions are back, man. Like, just because I haven't had long sets or anything for the longest time. Just
I just love to see I'd just love to see just some of the Aussie guys, doing like a 1st to 5 or 7 with some of the US guys, just to see how they go.
Yeah,
like, especially Dion, for example. I'd love to see how he goes against.
Well, dude, if there's a few salty sweets, like there usually are every pre-Evo, definitely should be going down. That's one thing I'll try and look out for.
I'd like to see Dion versus Anakin, actually.
I've seen it, and I think.
Oh, really? The fight? I can't remember.
I'm pretty sure Dion had his number, if I remember correctly.
Wait, are you saying tournament or just like first or whatever?
Like in a set?
Yeah, just like a first or something. Yeah.
I would put good money on Dion.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, in the hundreds.
Yeah, I put my life savings on Dion. I think it's happened. Yeah. Yeah, but any type of salty sweet is happening, like I'm sure Australia will be down for that. But yeah, I'm keen.
They're gonna be a international tournament again.
I'm not sure, because that year that me, Jono, Yusuf, I think Shane was there, like all the boys, like it was kind of set up very spontaneously, and there just happened to be enough other countries with 5 members. So yeah, I'm not sure. I'll have to see. Did anything like that happen in Japan?
Well, what is this specifically?
No.
Like a country exhibition,
like a 5v5 or some shit.
Oh no.
Okay, yeah. I'm not sure. If it happens very spontaneously. But yeah, super keen.
Chaotic Punisher, Dion always causes trouble wherever he goes. So that whatever you're saying is correct.
What did he do at Evo? Oh wait, I think I remember.
Yeah, it's a story for another time.
Never mind.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, now I remember too. Actually, I remember like 5 things at the same time.
5 things, damn.
Just because Dread's going, what's the one thing you're looking forward to most, Dread, as someone who's never been?
Ooh, well, my only hope is that I don't get shot. Bar that, I have I'm actually excited because I'm predominantly going to see family, and it just so happens that Evo's on the same around the same time frame, so I will be going. But like not many people know, but no one will actually knows at all. But my auntie's boyfriend works directly for Elon Musk at SpaceX, so I will be getting like a tour at that place.
Holy shit!
And seeing like a live like shuttle launch and shit, so it's gonna be really sick.
What the fuck? Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm going to Disneyland. I'm going to Universal. I've got a private helicopter ride apparently planned for me, so it's gonna be really sick. I'm gonna go to like streetwear shops and jewelry.
Can I like fit in your luggage or something, please?
I have to what?
Can I fit in your luggage or something?
You're too big.
Oi, don't get shot for your hype beast stuff, yeah?
Yeah, I know, right? Gotta be careful.
You gotta dress low key there.
Yeah, so I might jack my shit.
That actually sounds amazing.
So yeah, after that, I'm just gonna head to Vegas for the weekend with Chris Ho, Aiken, Tilu, and Snow as well. Snow is going as well, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just signed up like last minute, like Saturday. They're like, "Hey, you should go," and it's like, "All right."
Because I think he's already in the US at that point, so
he's on a work contract.
Skipping over, yeah.
So what's the full
really good.
What's the full Tekken lineup for Australia? You got you, me, Jono, Damien, Dion, Tin, Chris, Aiken, Snow, Stefan.
Who from Sydney's going?
Stefan,
Yeah,
Stefan and Dion. And I think that's it.
I don't know who else is going. Yeah, I don't think anyone else. Dennis, VBD.
Really?
Yeah, backdash.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's going.
Awesome. So yeah,
Awesome.
there's a lot of us, and then you got a lot of like other Aussies with other games. So good, clean Aussie representation. You got Taz, pretty much the best NRS player in Australia going as well. So
for me, it's gonna be really hard because I'm with family. I'm not gonna actually have be able to day in day out concentrate on Tekken like I did at EVO Japan. EVO Japan, I played every day up to that tournament, and being like a brand new player, that really helped me immensely. Otherwise, I wouldn't have got out of round one straight up. I managed to get out of round one at EVO Japan, which was really, really good for my first international tournament. I'm not sure how I will go on this EVO.
Well, let me ease your case. Just because of the sheer number of people, if you have any decent experience, you will not go 0-2. Like I can.
That's cool.
Yeah, no. I can pretty much speak for. Like I know Raven Boy can speak for me. Like pretty much anyone that's good. Your very first match, like if as long as you're not up against like a Korean.
Then you get Nobi or something like.
Yeah. Like,
well, that's what happened to me at EVO Japan.
No,
straight up.
Okay, because you're no one. You know what?
Yeah, I'm a no one. I'm gonna be a no one at EVO.
No, the likelihood of you getting a top seed like that is low, but I don't, even if God forbid you do, your first match in losers will not be that difficult given where you are right now. So yeah, I wouldn't worry. I don't think I've versed anyone very threatening until my third game. Every time I've been to EVO.
For me, I'm just looking to experience like EVO in all its spectacle more so. But I will try my best.
This one
because I'm still very much in my learning stage of Tekken, and I still feel like I will be for a while.
Yeah.
So I'm not focused on results. I'm focused on just getting better every single day. That's it.
Well, this might be my last EVO for a while. So considering how many entrants there are, I would love the top 64.
How'd you go last year again?
Yeah, I don't want to bring up last year.
Oh yeah, something happened. I remember.
Yeah, I don't want to bring up last year.
Was it Big Boy? What's his name?
I'm not bringing up last year, Daniel. Let's move on. Yeah. I think that's all the topics covered. Like before we close up, there was one thing I wanted to bring up, which was kind of brought up in the Yigs' Discord, and that's we're watching. I don't know if Rekka's in the chat because he's gonna test to what was happening. We're watching top 8, and then a lot of people were commenting on Kokoma's timing, but and then some people were like, how do you know? Like when you use the term timing and when you refer to it not just being someone just getting hit at some random time, when you feel like it's valid to use that term in terms of Tekken. I thought that was
that's a really hard question to answer.
Yeah,
because timing in itself is possibly one of the most, if not the most advanced concept in high level Tekken.
It's pretty arbitrary, isn't it? Like it's just kind of your own.
I know it's a very loose topic to bring up. I just thought it'd be interesting to bring up.
Like one of the situations I think of in my head when I think of timing, and where it's like, or if like this is the concept, the thing that you're talking about, whether it's timing or
like for example, someone was like, oh, the timing on his death fists are like really key. Like for example, someone will point out, oh, his timing on his death fists is better, and like someone else would be like, how do you know it was timing and it wasn't just like luck, or like it wasn't just random.
With death fist. with Death Fist and specifically Kokoma, I think it's timing, because if you watch his poll, and I watch his poll religiously, my poll is based off of his poll.
Yeah.
So, and I know that he'll do like one Death Fist every 20 rounds or whatever. Like he rarely ever does Death Fist. So if he does it, he's waiting. He's conditioned you to eat it in that situation.
Yeah.
You could go back and watch it, and you'll see when he does it, and like how he's built up that timing for it, or that situation for it. But the one that I was going to talk about was, which is at OHN last year actually, where there's the grand finals, and it was Nobby versus Saint. And so Saint is still in losers bracket, and this is the match that I think it was the final match of the first before the reset and the final round. So Nobby does the running 2 at the end, and it's blocked, and then he does another running 2, and then after the second running 2 is blocked, Saint does down forward 2, and he does the combo to win the match. Now, this one is the thing that I think to myself, this is much more of a read than you talk about timing. Yeah. But it could also be timing because he waited, because he didn't just mash it after down forward 2. He blocked down forward 2. He waited for like a split second, and then he did it. Yeah. So it is a very arbitrary thing, as Daniel was saying. But this was like the situation I always relate to when I think of timing, or like the perfect timing that you had to wait for to get what you wanted. But I don't think you can break it down to say, oh, he just got hit. Because you're talking about what one player is doing versus what another player is doing. And what the other player is doing could have been just holding forward. So I don't know.
But yeah, it's definitely one of those advanced things. Like I remember when the Koreans came down, one of their very arbitrary tips was change your timing. Yeah. And it's
it's definitely it's definitely a thing. I think the more experienced players can relate to it more than maybe people who aren't as experienced, where it's oh, you just got hit. But I thought it was a nice topic to bring up to try and explain.
Yeah, for sure. Even things when you wake up for Oki, sometimes you literally just wait a second and then do what you want to do, and it'll hit. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Dion actually taught me about timing. I didn't even know anything about it until Tekken 7. And then when he explained it to me, my mind just blew.
What's the kind of thing he explained it?
Okay, so this was when I was a very basic player, but I was still learning Tekken 7. So he said to me, so let's say he does a move that's -9 on block. Okay, and so I feel as a player, it's my, in quotation marks, my turn.
Your turn, yeah.
Okay, so but why am I attacking if my opponent's at -9 and they're gonna block a mid? So my mind will say, I want to get free damage, so I'll go low. But then my low is usually minus on hit. So what did I just accomplish there? I just got a bit of chip damage. Why not wait and see when my opponent will... Because just because a move is -9 or -13 or -15... doesn't mean you can't attack after it. If let's say I do a move that's launch punishable unblock, my opponent doesn't punish it. That doesn't mean I can't attack for the rest of the round until they attack.
100%.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I have to wait. Why not block a move? Wait until their next move comes out to see how long of a beat or a timing they have in between attacks. Because they know it. I'm at -9, so now if I do something, I might get counter hit or I might do this. But then there's that twitch in their head. They're oh, he didn't do anything. It's my turn again. And that's what you want to wait for.
Yeah, that's it. And that's a good point. Being at -9, I mean, your more advanced player is just gonna hold back because they know that they're at -9. And I guess the obvious choice would be, trying to get damage or something. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That's a good way to put it.
This is how you incorporate mind games into it as well. Because if you see your opponent is being greedy and they're punishing your move that's -7 or -8 with a down 3 or a generic low. This is where stuff like Lars orbital into ups forward 3 comes up. It seems random, but it's based off of a read and tendencies that your opponent has shown that they will do. So it looks...
You see, that's 100%. I wanted to bring up timing in relation to patterns and habitual and people's habits as well. That's where I feel timing is incorporated as well. If you've got a read on people's habits, then you've got to read on their timing.
I think it's one thing that definitely paid dividends for me that I managed to learn and put to use at the last Rambat. Using frames to your advantage to basically checkmate some lower, less experienced person, because you understand what the normal progression of what they want to do is. So Aiken taught me this one, like wave dash up to them and do a while standing 4. I know I'm minus, but it's not minus enough that I completely lose like all my movement. So I can just backdash, bait something to come out, and then just launch them, which like paid so much dividend over the weekend.
That's the classic Korean tech.
Yeah.
The classic.
Yeah, and even like, I mean, this is some advice I give people as well, like the new players. It's like, even though you're on plus, 9 or something, you don't have to do anything after.
100%.
Like
Exactly.
use that to
100%.
literally move around them or backdash or something. It's not, plus 9 doesn't mean you have to utilize it in that sense of pressing buttons, you know what I mean? So yeah.
That's actually one of my favorite things to do. I've been playing a lot of Steve recently. Like I've been playing him for I think a minimum of like 30 hours a week. Or like 25
I watched
hours.
your stream like for 5 hours the other night.
Yeah, I just play Steve, and something I do a lot is if I'm playing a long set, I won't take advantage of the plus frames from while standing 1-2, which is +3 on hit, and I'll just wait and see what they're doing. And so many people
And then you catch it back one.
yeah, but no, so many people just do like the weirdest shit when you give them like free reign. You're like saying, oh, okay, I'm not going to take advantage of plus trade. So they just treat it as whatever. So like I do one standing 1-2. Some people, I just backdash once. And some people do their like while rising 4. And it'll whiff. So I just get a free whiff punish with his up forward 2.
Yeah.
And people will fall for this so many times. And then I'll just see which move they're doing. And if it's slow enough, then I'll say, okay, my back 1 will hit. Is it a high crush? My down forward 2 should hit here in this situation, perhaps. Are they stepping? I might do down forward 2. If they're stepping into a hop kick or something, my down forward 2 is going to win. I get a free combo off of a punish from while standing 1-2. So yeah, all this stuff is like, for me, like what you mentioned, you don't always have to attack a plus frame. When I first learned about this, or like it makes you super unpredictable to your opponent, and it just creates such a good way of breaking down your opponent and making them choose the time they want to attack, even though it might seem advantageous. Even though it's disadvantageous for them, they still want to attack because of the situation you've created mentally.
You're literally putting them in a position where they hang themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Like you use the I guess that's like the natural progression as well. Like when you learn about plus frames, you're like, oh, sick, +9. He can't do anything now. But yeah, it's only up until later you realize that, you use these plus frames not to just chuck out a move, but to let yourself move around pretty much. And that's the way you should be playing, I think.
Yeah, that's the next level.
Because something you see a lot is a lot of new players, they see that they did a move that's like, let's say, +5 on block. And then what they do is they go for their absolute slowest move. So like they'll
Snake edge or something.
Yeah, I'm on +5. I'm gonna do my unblockable. It's gonna be hit.
See, the thing is, sure. The reason that doesn't work is some people might not respect frame data.
Yeah, and stuff like that. Like the moment you know your opponent plays like this or does something like this, you're like, oh, it's over. A good example is I was versing Harlem the other week, who's a layoff player from Brisbane, and I noticed one of his patterns was when he punishes with 1-4, he'll follow up with down forward 3. But what I noticed is there's a frame gap there where I could just jab and I'll win every time if he keeps doing that. And he continued to do that for like a good 3-4 matches. So I was getting free damage. Yeah, I was getting free damage when he was punishing my -10 moves.
Oh, wow.
And then he changed later on to start doing 1-4 to down 4-1 because I assume he didn't want to take the risk to do like a down 4-2 or something. And I could see that. But then in my mind, and now I can step that down 4-1 until he changes. So there's all this stuff. Like, just notice, this is where frame data comes in most handy, where there's this big of a gap based on the pattern that he's created. And I now know this is my opportunity to do this move or this thing or create this situation that's advantageous for me rather than my opponent, even though he's on +5.
Yeah.
Or plus whatever. So yeah, stuff like that, like, is what I love about Tekken. I don't know any other game that can happen in, but the moment I think about something like that in Tekken, I think about like this situation. I could talk about it I think about it in my head for like hours if I wanted to.
No one respects the frames in this game, man.
To quote Yiggs, frames are to be disregarded.
I think it's like a learning point. It's like, as a low-level player, you just don't understand it, and you disregard it. As a mid-level player, you want to understand it more, but because you're so intent on studying it, you base your gameplay around it. But then you learn as you get better, you need to just disregard it again and just like play around it.
Yeah, Dread, you probably don't know him, but do you guys remember Samo, right?
Yeah, I remember Sam. How can I forget?
Yeah, he lived by like the frame book, and when something didn't go his way based on frames, it would just blow his mind. And I think that's what you're talking about, Dread, in that, when you first learn about frames, you think that's just key to everything, right?
Because that's what I was like up until
he played a very, very traditional. I don't know if traditional is the right word. Very textbook frame data by the book Tekken.
Yeah,
and then when he ran into players where like Rami, where especially with capos, where all of that will just it'll fall out the window. It's just, he's like, why am I losing? And it's just, dude.
Yeah, dude, like, no joke. Like every timeout Tuesday that we'd go and play, like I'd be out the front where the smoking area, for example.
Yeah.
And he'd just be ranting. He's like, I'm +9, man. Like it just blew his mind that he's on plus whatever, and he's just like, how can this idiot throw out an orbital or whatever? And I'm just like, dude, no one respects the frames in this game. Like it doesn't work just purely off like numbers. So yeah.
I've seen some messed up shit over the years in terms of frames. Like I've seen an Asuka player do with the long parry, like the reversal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like she just did it in neutral. Like she did the long one, and as soon as I came in, she did rage art. And I ate that. I was stunned. This was in Japanese arcades, mind you. And I was just there in front of the machine. Like I had to get up for a second to get a drink, rethink my life choices.
That reminds me of the classic key charge into rage art. You must have.
I legit was about to bring that up. I legit was about to just bring that up.
I actually done that in a tournament once.
I did this to Naveed, like in a online deathmatch the other day. But he had hit me with Rage Drive, and literally my Oki situation was like last hit he'd kill me. And he ran up to me. He did a down 4 with Brian, which 100% would hit me. But on my wake up, I did a Raging Storm, and it totally whiffed because of the Raging Storm. And I'm not so sure if you saw that match with Subaru Kuma versus what's his name, the Geese player from Japan.
Pecos.
Yes. Did you see their game?
I did, but I don't remember which moment you're talking about. I might not remember exactly.
There was the same situation where he got him into an Oki situation. He went for a very safe mid, the forward 1+2, the overhead, and ate a Raging Storm. And you should have seen his face after. It reminds me of what you were just saying.
I remember now.
Yeah, his face was just the funniest thing I've ever seen. It just reminded me of what you just said, where after you ate that Asuka Rage Drive, like you just was contemplating what life was all about.
It happened.
That's Tekken.
But like someone said in the chat, frames are weird when it comes to Tekken, and in Tekken, like frames, understanding frame data and knowing the frames of certain moves is very important. But there's things that are far more important than understanding that. And that's stuff like timing, like having good reads, like knowing when you timing, reads, and conditioning. So like you so it goes like in a process where You do something, see how your opponent reacts. If they're reacting in this way, this is how reads are created. You create reads based off your opponent's patterns, or they're just hard reads. And then there's timing where you choose to cash in on whatever you're doing as well as just, saying, okay, now is when he's going to use this or whatever. So like, yeah, you at some point you have to disrespect frames. If you follow frames by the book, like you're going to be very predictable. Your opponent can pick up on exactly when you want to attack. And they're like, okay, I'll just wait until it's my turn again. I'll just do this. That's my opinion, at least.
I'm not sure if you can put this clip up, Abby, on the stream. But I've just linked it in the chat.
Just give me a sec.
What's key charge in Rage Art do? What?
It baits your opponent because you can't block in key charge.
Oh no, I'm just reading his question. I didn't quite get it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm answering it. That's what I think, at least.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just a bait, pretty much.
Oh man, Super Akuma got done.
Dude, his face was the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Alright, I'm playing it now.
Oh no, this is going to do so much damage. He's got the maximum.
Yeah, so
3 bars.
Raging Storm is invincible on
didn't quite get it.
starter.
Sidestep 3 again. Akuma
Yeah.
just holding back.
Same with Eliza.
Okay, goes to the
Fireball
demon
super
palm. Hides a bar.
invincible on starter, but it's
very
not
good.
nowhere near
Okay,
as good as
follows
Raging
his
Storm.
Oh,
Nice.
what a punish. One more hit's going to do it. No.
Oh
Oh my god, that was sick. Pekos
Just check
with
out
the
his
Raging
face.
Storm.
Oh my god, look at his face.
I just hear through his head. I'm +9. I'm +9. I'm +9.
Raging Storm, yeah.
My guy. Oh my god.
That was
Pekos.
so Street Fighter 2DX like.
Wait, I have to go back.
One more hit's going to do it. No.
Okay, follows his fireball in.
Oh,
Nice.
what a punish. One more hit's going to do it. No.
Oh,
Oh my god.
See, you know what's interesting? Like he did that before the move actually hit.
You mean on what do you mean on Wake Up?
Yeah, he did it on Wake Up.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did it as Oki. Yeah.
Yeah, same. I'll put up the video later, but same thing with the situation that I played in Naveed. Like, that down 4 literally hit me, but the Raging Storm just, dissipated it.
Oh, okay. See, yeah, it'd be one thing. It'd be even crazy if he was actually +9 and he did it, but like on Wake Up, like it's a little bit. I can see him doing that.
Mate, he was probably on like +20 and it still whiffed. So.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, we're at the 2-hour mark. We can talk frames all day, but some of us have a plane to catch tomorrow.
Wait.
How
How long till you leave?
I'll leave at 9 a.m.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, but before, like, I would like to finish off every podcast with a few questions for our guests. Alchemist, Daniel, we can all hit him up with one or two. Just before we end, my first
Not
one.
Dread though.
Yeah.
not me.
I
I don't know.
Yeah, don't worry about that guy. Yeah.
Nah. Real.
No, they're all for him. He gets the gauntlet today. Yeah. Oh, my one is very easy, nice, simple, and friendly. If you weren't playing Harang, who would you play?
Ooh.
Ooh, that's a good one.
In before Akuma.
No.
No way.
Nah, dude.
Because
Kazumi?
you know what? When I first played the game, it was between Hwoarang and Asuka.
Really?
Yeah, I played a little bit of Asuka. And I think when I was learning Hwoarang, to get myself out of the constantly attack mentality, Willis told me to play Leo. So I played Leo for a bit, and I've come to really like Leo as well. And I've also picked up a bit of Kazumi. I'd say my strongest second character would be Leo. So it'd probably be Leo. If Hwoarang disappeared tomorrow, I'd probably.
Ooh, Pocket Leo, I like it.
Yeah. Just know everyone know this. When they are watching Evo and Kazuma Kiryu gets fucking announced, just listen for my scream. This is for Abby's stream for when I fucking put him in a headlock because I'm just so fucking hype.
I can't wait for
I will
season
pocket
two,
cure
actually.
you the day he comes out. I have played Yakuza from start to finish ever since the PS2 days.
Dude, Alchemist is not happy with your request right now.
I can suck it. Alright? I will allow guest characters if it's just two. I will allow that.
Eli is not happy.
I respect your opinion.
Only because I love that character so much.
Honestly, I can't wait for season 2. Like that announcement.
Here's one question I'm putting to everyone that we didn't really touch on it per se when we discussed DLC with Rec the other week. But if you foresee a balance patch coming, who do you think is getting nerfed and who do you think is getting buffed?
Wait, are you asking who do we think will get nerfed or who we want to get nerfed?
Oh, you can answer both ways or either one.
Well, if it was what I want, I wouldn't nerf any character. I would only buff weaker characters.
Yeah.
Maybe change Dragunov's down to not track to the right side, and that's about it. That's pretty much the only change I want in the game.
No, fuck that. Make it so that Geese can't get a full combo off down one. Fuck that shit.
Oh, sorry. Yes. Actually,
Fuck that shit.
Forget about the Dragunov change. Yeah, change Geese's down one. I forgot about that.
Nah, he's all right. He's all right.
Fuck you, mate.
Nah, guys, you don't understand. He's all right.
He needs meter, guys. He needs meter.
Best.
No.
It's the best panic move in the history of the game.
Nah,
100%.
It's just okay.
Plus frames
it's
on
okay.
block.
Nah, don't worry about it. It's all right. No, but I actually agree with you. I think everything's pretty good as is, but Gigas needs to be changed if they're going to change him. Like
they need to buff him
that's
for
about it,
sure.
I think.
Yeah,
they need to like give him
they need
better
to rework
tools, or
that
they need to
character
change the way things
completely.
work with him. Yeah,
Completely.
I saw what TK Jabu was saying in the chat about Claudia, and I actually been thinking about Claudia buffs for about 2 years. So like, my opinion is there's only two changes that need to be made. They need to give him a 12 frame mid wall splat and knockdown when he has Starburst, which is quite fair to be honest, because you only get Starburst an average of once a round, and it's going to be a move. Make it launch punchable. It doesn't matter. Just make it something that wall splats at I-12 or knocks down
make
I-12.
it like a down forward 1-4 extension or something like that.
Or like, or something. No, it has to involve his right hand thematically because the Starburst in his right hand.
You're right.
Yeah, so it has to be
Back
something
1,
like
2. No, I don't know.
just make it like make it down back 2-2 because down back 2 is 12 frames. And then the other option, the other thing I want changed is down back 3 to be -14 on block and +3 on hit. But it doesn't
Down
have
back
to be
3.
Yeah, as long as it's -14 on block, not -17.
Can we make more mids be able to hit AOP, please?
Just use lows, man. Just use lows.
Horan doesn't have that many good lows.
You can back 3 her.
You can.
The secret to beating Ling is what people always concentrate on which moves hit AOP, but the thing is you just got to do lows with good timing because she can't block lows in AOP and she can't low parry. So as long as they're going to resort to a low crushing move, which is the AOP upwards 3, they'll usually do the one which is a mid high, which you can duck, or the one which is a mid which leads her back into AOP. It's also really punishable on block. So it's a mind game for Xiaoyu every time she goes into AOP. And if you get a read when someone goes into AOP, then it's basically free damage for you.
There you go, folks. Free anti-link strats.
Very good item.
I'm learning.
That's what I love versing Ling. I just wait for them to show me their AOP time, and I'm like, GG. I just won the match. Because it's people have trouble with the matchup, but I've never really had trouble with it.
Our Alchemist sends them like a pre GG before the game's finished.
Geese, on the other hand, no theory in the world will help you in that matchup.
He's all right. He's a good guy.
Yeah, he's all right.
So yeah, keep Tekken as it is. Just buff Gigas.
I got a question from Abdul, and it's kind of a long one, but to be short, he asked, how and when did you first start playing Tekken? If you want to be like technical, my first Tekken was 2, and I've played every iteration from then. But probably first time I've played outside of home was just Tekken 5 when I used to hang out in the city and I saw some arcade machines and I was just like, oh yeah, I know this game. And then, yeah, I just played it a little bit for fun at the arcades, and then that turned into me going into the city just for Tekken. But yeah, that's pretty much how I started.
It's pretty cool.
Dude,
That's a while ago too.
Where were you when we covered the episode of dANiel, the Deception? I'm pretty sure you covered that.
But yeah, like interestingly, my first Tekken tournament ever was when I was in year 7, and that was a Tekken 3 tournament at school. And I thought I was good, but I just got bodied by a 10 string, and I was just like, what the fuck? And I remember I also got bodied by Paul's counter, and that was the first time I was just like, I discovered counters, and I was just like, this is bullshit. And then that made me just look into Tekken some more and realize, oh, there's a lot more in this game that I don't know. So yeah,
I like that story.
yeah, it was just it was sad. I thought I was good, but I guess that's how everyone starts Tekken. They're like,
I like it.
awesome.
I like it because you said you're versing Paul and you found something that's bullshit. But I'm sure there's a lot of people that just started Tekken. They're versing Paul in Tekken 7. They get hit by like his rage out combo. They're like, that's bullshit. I'm going to look more into the game. So that's
Or get
happening
hit
all
by
over
a
again.
death fist. Yeah.
It's a vicious cycle. I mean, I play Paul and I think he's like a bit too over the top, to be honest.
Mm.
But, you know, what are you going to do? I, for the sake of like intermediate players, he should be nerfed. For the sake of what, like, if you're going to balance the game for competitively, like a top level, I think he should stay the same.
I think he's all right as he is. I think he's pretty good.
There's just characters that are just gonna be like blatant scrub killers. Like, I'll admit that my character's a complete scrub killer. There's gonna be a contingent of people that will never be able to beat me just based off of like what my character is based around, because they just don't have enough knowledge.
Yeah, 100%.
But then I struggle when people understand my character, so I got that as an OS.
You always got to have OSs ready.
Any more questions for Dread?
Oh, from us or from the chat?
From us.
Oh, I actually asked my big question, which is the Smash Ultimate question, so I have nothing else.
I have one quick question. It's kind of similar to Abdul's one, but like, what made you, like you said it was like 2013 you joined the scene or something?
2014.
Yeah. What made you decide to come out for the first time? Like, had you been part of like a Facebook group and you just kept seeing events or something? Or it's just, did you find out through a friend?
I saw, like, I had, it's a little bit muddled, but I remember playing Street Fighter picking up Street Fighter again, because I hadn't played it in a long time, and just
playing at home, yeah. Like,
yeah, the latest version. And then I think 3 weeks before that, we had a get together with my like old high school friends, and I just bodied literally every single one of them free. And I'm just like, all right, that was fun. And then like I just looked up online, and then I like bumped into some videos. I'm just like, oh wait, there's an actual like scene that exists in Australia. And then at that point, I was just like looking at all the games that were kind of available. And then I bumped into Project M, which is like the Smash mod that they changed. Like they made Brawl into a mod that made it play more like Melee. And that's actually how I got started in Smash. And that's actually where I won my first major. I won Shadowloo Showdown 3 months after I started joined the community. I won doubles I won doubles with Armada. So that's why
That's why.
I got carried, mate.
Sorry,
all right? I got carried. Yeah, I got carried. So that was really fun. So yeah, and so that's how I got integrated into competitive gaming, competitive fighting games. But then that's also the pathway how I got stolen into the Smash community. And then it took me a little bit to come back. Yeah, I mean, I never expected that to happen. It just happened. They just like, the community was just so good, and then I just started playing more Smash and started organizing for them. And then
so it's just from your own research. You're like, oh, I want to go offline, or like
I mean, I was very on the fence about going on, in all honesty, and I only decided that afternoon of BAM 6 that I would go, and then I went. And then
That's cool. Yeah, I like that. I like, just hearing how people discover it, really.
I paid the on the day venue fee. I think it was $60. Fucked.
What a baller.
Great
I brought
story, man.
my 360 stick. It was great. It was great.
Tales from dreadtech. I got one last question before we round it up. What's the secret to making a great cup of coffee?
Ooh.
Wow. Abby, do you
Alchemist,
have an hour?
have you had a
Do you
dreadtech
have an
coffee?
hour?
I haven't, but I actually wasn't a big coffee fan until I started working an office job. And so, like, my daily
You
life has
just become one, don't you? Like, it just becomes a thing, doesn't it? Like, everyone gets one, like, oh, I'll have one.
I can't survive without it because, like, I barely get any sleep. So I go to work and I have to do this mundane job with paperwork and everything. And I'm just there about to fall asleep. So I have coffee at least like twice a day if I'm working.
And
I
Alchemist,
don't.
before you continue, on average, just give me a ballpark figure. How many hours of sleep do you get a night? If you can give
3 to 4 hours.
Remind me.
Ooh, Abby, should we tell him?
Yeah,
Should we tell him?
Don't. I'm not. I'll tell him later. I'm gonna send the book your way, free of charge. I want you to read it.
Is this gonna wake me up?
Yeah,
figuratively.
it's legit.
It'll wake you up,
Life changing book.
Put it this way, right? Like, you need minimum or on average 7, or literally you're prone to a lot of diseases like Alzheimer's, blah, 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 blah. But sleeping is where your body gets rid of all your toxins. And if you deprive yourself of that, you're going to age much quicker and you'll die much quicker. So, yeah. Quick summary.
Damn, they got too real, too quick.
Dude, you kind of went hardcore there, man. Dude, I was gonna ease him into it.
You got to be straight up. No joke.
I'm gonna link you a video, and then I'm gonna send a book your way. I'm just keen to see your thoughts on it.
Watch this video. It will change your mindset entirely. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna. This is a must-watch, I guess.
Yeah,
for me.
legit for everyone in existence. It's the must-watch. When I watched this video, I was like, okay, this is changing my life. But anyway, all right, like, we gotta end it there. I just wanted to get Dread's answer to that question before we wrap up.
There's way too many facets, Abby. Everything into a proper nice cup of coffee, because I do specialty coffee, and I'm on Broadsheet as one of the best cafes in Melbourne, I tell everyone to come visit and judge for themselves. I told Abby to go, and he doesn't even drink coffee. That's how confident I am in my coffee. But it's just like, there's so many facets. There's the beans you source from, how old the beans are, the way you grind them, the machine itself, the temperature, like the time that how tight it is, how tight the extraction is, with the weight of the grind, the weight of the coffee, everything goes into it.
So it's literally an art form.
Yeah, when something goes wrong, there's 10 different ways it could have gone wrong, and you have to pinpoint where it goes wrong and fix that. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, this guy's just a coffee snob, but it's sort of something that I had to force myself to learn why coffee is such a big deal in Melbourne, because when I took over Tom Thumb, it's going to be our 3rd year anniversary in September. I had no idea what coffee was, but I knew that if I was going to do something long-term that was profitable and would stand the test of time in Melbourne, it would be coffee. So I forced myself to get good at it.
Nice. For those that don't know, Dread owns a few coffee places. Please just be sure to check them out. If you're ever in Melbourne, you will not regret it.
I know we said that was going to be the last question, but no.
All good.
No skip. Yeah, he has a good question in the chat.
Yeah.
If I were interested in TOing for Tekken 7, what's the best way to go about it? We have two, maybe 3 TOs in the chat right now.
Yeah.
So I guess you guys.
Let's all answer that question. Dread, go for it.
The first thing would be is to just come to your locals and firstly enjoy the event, and then just ask the head TO, is there anything that I can assist with? I want to start TOing. They're going to tell you exactly what to do and where to start. It'd be anything from like, just covering a basic bracket to chasing up someone, or like, it's just stuff like that, or like setting something up. It's just You just build the very basic building blocks, and then slowly but surely you'll start to understand the facets of what comes together to run a good tournament. And I think that's the strongest pedigree I came from is that Smash people, they're really, really, really anal and meticulous about running like brackets and seeding. When we seed from top to bottom, even at like 300-man majors. And I think that's a big strength that I have when I look at everything. I look at absolutely everything that I can to make sure that everyone has the best experience ever. Because a tournament that you're running, you have to view the community as like customers in a sense, that you don't want someone coming in for the first time and playing their friend straight up, because like they play their friend all the time. You don't want that to happen. But the thing is, that's going to happen when they both register at the same time, because then they'll be given a seed right next to each other. And if it's one of the bottom seeds, they play each other straight away. If it's not an even bracket number of multiples of 8. So let's just come up and like just ask the head TO to see if he can help. And I'm 100% sure they will never, say no. They will never say no.
Yeah, there's not much more I can add to that. Dread covered everything. I mean, like, TOs just, like, they're more than just bracket runners. They are bracket runners as well. That's just one facet of TOing, but they try to take everything into account when organizing a tournament. So
I think that's a good place to start, just offer helping running a bracket, and then from there just it leads into other things, really.
yeah.
I think you'll find out at that point whether you actually want to do it or not. And then you'll understand that there's a lot more to do with actually optimizing how to run a tournament, as in maximizing the best time and maximizing actually the best way to seed, and also the best order to play matches, which is actually quite important, because momentum is a really important thing. You get so many stories of like, I want the new players to like last longer. Why don't I just give them a higher seed? It's like, no, then you fuck over, the higher seed, the actual better players who actually have to play each other a lot earlier. Or it's like, oh, why can't we do all of winners and all of losers after? It's like, no, because then a lot of players in winners will go literally hours without having to play, and then they lose momentum. It's a lot of stuff like that. Or it's stuff like, why is top 8 played in this specific way? It's because you want to make sure everyone has an equal amount of on time and off time, and that someone doesn't lose, like someone doesn't warm down or someone doesn't warm up too much. Because like you see it happen all the time. People start on losers runs and they just play so much that they're just in the zone, and there's nothing you can do about it because they've just played way more than everyone, and they just train wreck through everyone just because of their momentum.
Yeah, definitely
Also,
come to. Oh, yeah, you go, Daniel.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, I can't remember who said it, but yeah, just see if you like it as well. Like if you want to play too, it's kind of hard to do both. Like, you can do both, but if you specifically just want to TO, then yeah. I think,
man, yeah, TOS is real. Fuck that. Anyone who says
100%.
that,
Like, I know where like I could talk for it, and
I don't have to TO, motherfuckers. Catch me at a tournament I don't have to do it.
We could start a whole other segment about how every tournament I enter, I bring up my TOing OS, and like people, and like it's fucking real, man. It's fucking real. Like,
because people don't realize you jump in cold. You jump in completely cold, and once you're done, you go back to work.
Look, no, 100% no disrespect to Third. If you're watching this, if you're gonna watch this, I played him at the Rambat on Saturday, and I was playing him. I'm like, oh, okay, I beat him, and then I beat him first game, and then he beat literally as soon as the game finished, the game on stream finished, and all I could think about was, I need to get a game on stream. Mid-game, I was giving people instructions to go on stream, and then I started losing. And I'm like, I shouldn't have entered. Like, the TOing OS is real. Like, from there, I went downhill. And, like, mid-game, Remy came up to me and was like, oh, I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. And then, then he won. I was like, yeah. TOing and playing, competing do not mix.
Yeah. So just ask yourself first. If you
want to focus on one or the other, do so. Because they will compromise each other if you want to compete.
100%. If you want to be a scholar of the game, and really want to maximize your improvement, TOing will definitely get in the way. It just depends on how much the community matters to you. For me, I don't believe that I have the time to be the best in the world. So I'd rather try and put my other talents to use and
Not
try
with
to
that attitude.
mate. Yeah, well, I'm working on it, mate.
Your thought process behind that is exactly the same as mine with commentary. I don't have. If I want to put in the amount of time it takes to get to be the best in the world, that means I'd have to quit uni and my job.
Yep.
And yeah, that's not happening. So I'll do the thing I love the second most, which is commentary, and I can still do something to help grow the Australian scene that way.
As far as I'm concerned, I feel like I'm more suited, more valuable to the community as a tier than a player at this point. Plus, like, my passion isn't there.
Abby, please.
No.
Your eternal gatekeeping makes
No.
us work so much harder to try and take you down. I can say that for myself, but I will take you down.
Good luck, mate. Cold day in
What
hell.
if Marduk comes out?
Cold day in hell.
What if Marduk comes out?
Look, I can safely say at this point, the only thing that would make me want to compete like I did in the old days right now is Marduk. Until that day, I'm a full-fledged tier and like semi-retired.
What if Marduk and Kratos is announced for season 2?
Then I have to pledge off my TOing duties to someone else.
Yes.
But yeah.
Make it happen, Daniel. Just slip Harada that sneaky 100.
I know we're getting into the closing minutes of the podcast, and as we should have been for a while. So I just want to say one last thing to both the Beast and Dread, which is good luck at Evo. You know, you guys are going, so that's a start. But regardless of how well you do, you're going to get Australia out there somehow. People are going to hear your names in the bracket, or they're going to see you on stream, hopefully. And, you know, I wish you guys all the best.
Yeah, top 8. That's what I'm saying.
Top 8.
You won't hear my name, so unfortunately, I had to change mine. But yeah.
Yeah, what's your dumb name now?
The long story short, I lost a bet and I had to change it on Smash GG, so I go by Grimlock now. Anyway,
that's why.
Anyway, just it's time we wrap up. I got a flight in 9 hours. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Thanks Alchemist, Daniel, dreadtech.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Abby.
Everyone, give out your Twitters so people can follow you. Awesome people. Alchemist. It says printed on screen.
It's just at Alchemist with the name that's on screen now.
Yep, 4LCH3M15T. Daniel, yourself?
NG_Daniel.
Dreadtech.
At dreadtech. It's very simple.
And where can people find your lovely cafe shops?
Tom Espresso, 55 Flinders Lane, Melbourne.
Get
Just name drop me.
50% off.
Just name drop me and it's on the house, baby. Let's go.
No worries. All right. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in.
My coffee shop is here for the community as well.
You get people going in there saying dreadtech, and they're like, "Who the fuck?"
100%.
Oh no! Don't even start. It's happened already. I walked into my shop one day,
Yeah.
and one of my employees said, "Oh, it's Dread," and I'm like, "Where did you hear that? Who fucking came in today and name dropped me? Who the fuck said that?"
100% from someone who I'm not gonna say despises coffee, but is not a fan. Go and try his out. They're very good, especially his pastries. But yeah. Thanks again for tuning in. I'm gonna be in America for 2 weeks, so won't be another Beastcast for a while, unless Alchemist wants to host one by himself.
Not with my internet.
But yeah, we'll definitely get one with the boys who went to Evo, and we'll do like a run back post Evo show. How we went. But yeah, dude, the guy who wanted to who asked about Tio, and you said you're from Melbourne, dude, come to a Couch Warriors roundabout. We'll help you out. But yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in. Everyone, I'm gonna host Race and Avon Boy. See you all next Beastcast. Peace.
Yeah,
Laters. And we're done. Oh, God.